once again to go racing.
The pressure is really on now. And it's pole position.
And it's pedal to the metal. Go, go, go!
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to PSGL Premier Sim Gaming Leagues with me, George Morgan, your host with the most here tonight, ready for another little bit of tasty Formula One esports action. We are here at Silverstone tonight for the British Grand Prix, and I'm not alone. I am joined by the one, the only. It's his final night, folks. Give him some love. It's Jack Kinnan. Jack, how you doing, my man?
George, I'm good. Good to be back once again for PSGL. It's my favorite day of the week. It's Thursday. It's PSGL night.
Week,
it's the British Grand Prix as well. I mean, can you really get better than that as well? So, yeah, we're hopefully in for a good race. We all know what happened last week. Let's not dwell on it. We're going to move straight on to this week, of course. And championship standings remain as they were going into the previous round. So don't need to worry about anybody getting any, let's say, free points out of last week. The race was totally cancelled, wiped, clean slate going into this one. We've made some changes. The guys at Codemasters have been working very hard to try and solve out this issue. So a big kudos to everyone at Codemasters and everyone who's been working hard to try and solve this issue. Hopefully, we're going to get through tonight with a good race. Yeah,
definitely. As Jack said, Codemasters have been very helpful. The Formula One game as well in helping us out here at PSGL. So we do like to express our gratitude for all their assistance in bringing us back online. Obviously, a lot of problems last week, but we won't dwell on it. Hopefully, we can come here tonight with a great race and a lot of great expectations as well. Jana Watmir is still topping the championship. 44 points is currently on the Dutchman right now with Jake Benham in second place. Second place, Jake Benham, Jack, the only man in the top 5 to have actually scored points in every single round, bar Italy, because we're not counting that one.
Yeah, well, that's it's simple as see. He still managed to carry a 100% record of point scorers so far this season. So he's doing very, very well, is young Jake Benham. So let's see if he can carry that forward into this week, of course. Returning faces coming back this week. Sebastian Job, he's back off the back of his podium in Zandvoort. Of course, he took a podium at Zandvoort after the dry to wet race that we had right there. Joni Zormala, of course, is also here, the winner from Zandvoort as well. Rasmussen's back, ladies and gentlemen, in the Red Bull, which is fantastic to see. Looking forward to see how he gets on as well. A couple of other faces hopping in. Wilson Hughes is back in at McLaren this week. Lucas Blakely is back. Multiple others are back as well. And a new face in the form of John Evans hops in at Aston Martin as well. So we'll see how that gets on. But really interesting Red Bull lineup, honestly. You've got Freddie Rasmussen and Lewis Welch in Red Bull. What a team.
That is a fascinating team. You got on one side the best pad player in the world, and you got one of the best drivers in the world as well. Arguably one of the drivers that are going to take, obviously a lot of you may have seen the F1 Esports Pro Championship, certainly the calendar, and the drivers get announced officially last night. I certainly was one of those watching it as well. Great to see a lot of the PSGL guys getting selected too. It just goes to show what league racing is all about, folks, and what we can bring to the table in order to feed in new talent to the new, era of esports. It's great to see many of them getting picked up. Simon Shooter being one of them as well. Domenico Lavecce, Dario Yamulo as well. Lots of new names that we've yet to see strike the very top of F1 esports, and certainly all of them now are going to go on now, hopefully, and do their utmost for their respective teams. It's going to be very, very thrilling, very interesting. But let's talk about the circuit here tonight. Plenty to talk about. British Grand Prix, Jack. Lots to be excited about. Maggots and Beckett's obviously one of the more turbulent areas on the circuit, not to mention that swinging section of Stowe. But the first sector as well, very important to settle down early, because obviously when you head into turn 1, very easy to invalidate around there, then heading in towards the right-hander at Village, before you then reach the Wellington straight after Aintree in the loop. It's going to be interesting to see how the drivers coped with today, because we had a very exciting pre-season race here as well.
Yeah, this was the site of our first social race on F1 2021. Pole position, that time, Patrick Sipos carries the pole position into this one. This is where we also had Tomek Paradzic come in and put up a great performance. But in the end, it was an Alpine 1-2 in the social race. It was Donoso who won here last time in the Alpine in front of Nicolas Longue. Of course, Jarno didn't have the best of races there, but Patrick Sipos came out of the gates with a pole position right here back on the social races. So I wonder, he is on the grid tonight. Patrick Sipos driving for Williams at this time, so not in the same colours of Red Bull that he was there, but he is on the grid. He's got form. We know what he's capable of around this track, Patrick Sipos, and he took pole position. I mean, it was just under a tenth of a second, but even so, I have to wait and see. And a quick mention, a new driver in PSGL PC coming up from the lower tiers. He's in Alfa Romeo, filling in for Simon Weigang. Paris Burel is with us in PSGL F1. It's fantastic to see him in here, making his debut on the top tier. So it's great to see the guys who are in the lower tiers. They've now been moved up. Yeah, they're filling in, but it gives them a chance to show what they're made of against the very best.
It certainly does, and it's going to be interesting to see how Paris Burel gets on. Technically as well, you could argue that it's Wilson Hughes' debut as well, because technically when he came in last week, it didn't count. So Wilson Hughes now gets a chance at this race here tonight. So we're looking forward to that, folks. It's going to be very interesting to see how those two get on. And a lot of love for you in the live chat as well, Jack. I'm just reading it right now. A lot of upset people with regards to you leaving the broadcast. Obviously, it's a real shame that it's had to come this way, but obviously education comes first. But any words from yourself before we head into Britain tonight? You know, I'm going to put you on the spot. Just what are your expectations? Have you got any comments on what we've managed to achieve? Obviously, we'll have a talk about it later on after the race as well, but feel free to unleash your feelings, my good man.
Yeah, absolutely. It's going to be a turn to an Oscar speech now. Yeah, so for those of you that aren't aware, I am leaving PSGL PC F1. If you missed my Twitter announcement, it's on there. But I'm leaving to go into my final year of university, so I have to give my absolute everything to that. So I won't quite have the time to devote to this, unfortunately. And I tell you what, it has been an honour to be a part of this. From where we started, George, this has gone next level.
Well, Jack,
where we...
For those who don't know, me and Jack have worked together now for quite some time. We worked together in ORL, didn't we, previously? And then obviously transferred to PSGL later down the line. So we've been working together for a good stretch of time now, folks. Over a year and a bit, nearly 2 years now. And it's to be honest with you, it's been one hell of a journey, isn't it? I mean, we've gone from... We've seen certainly the league racing exposure has blown up, hasn't it, in the period since we've been working together, I think.
Absolutely. And, well, to put into perspective, I suppose, for many of you who joined the PSGL at the very start, we started off with less than 100 viewers, guys. And now we've come to consistently between 3,000 and 4,000 live every single week. So to say it's been an honour is an understatement, to join that journey and bring it up to the next level. I still have this race to do, of course, but from the bottom of my heart, everybody in the chat and everyone at home, thank you so much for every bit of support. I'm sure probably won't be the last you'll see of me, I hope, but it's been a pleasure to be part of this commentary team. And I know it's been announced on Twitter already, Dan Field's coming in, and he's a perfect replacement for... He did Zandvoort, he filled in for you, George, he's a perfect fill-in for me, so wait to see. Qualifying starting now, enough of the drama and sadness and everything. It's the British Grand Prix, Q1's underway.
Yeah, absolutely. We're going to head into qualifying now, folks, so make sure you give Jack Canan some love here tonight, folks, as we now make our way over to the circuit of Silverstone. A bit of a black screen for now, but it'll come into play very shortly. There's our live pictures showing the pit lane here at Silverstone, and what a pleasure it is to be here as well. Looks slightly overcast, Jack Canan.
It does. It does look a bit overcast, doesn't it? And, well, we'll have to see. I mean, the British weather is renowned for being a bit unpredictable. So we'll have to wait to see what the weather is telling me here. I'm looking at the weather right here, and I don't think we're expecting any rain. Just a bit overcast for qualifying. And, rain in the race. That's what we like.
Oh, yes, indeed, folks. We're going to be having alternative strategies, a wet weather forecast. How about that? Extraordinary. So keep your eyes on this one. Certainly qualifying now is going to be very important. What are these drivers going to do in order to make this wet strategy work? We'll have to wait and see. What will they choose to do? All of them are going to have differing opinions. That is the beauty of the position we're in now. So do stay tuned for it, folks. It's going to get very, very tasty. Philip Predictions, the first man to leave the pit bay, and he's going to get on the wet weather tyres early. He's on the intermediate tyres, Jack, just breaking them in, getting his first lap in on the board, like we've always seen week in, week out here at PSGL. The regular influx of wet weather tyres to get these drivers underway, get essentially an installation lap and under their, well, certainly under the table anyway.
Absolutely, yeah. But you want to be careful because we do have forecasted rain for the race, so you don't want to burn through your intermediates too much if you're expecting them to have some rain. So just for a little bit more detail, the rain is expected at about 30 minutes into the race, just light rain. To the end of the Grand Prix by the looks of it. It could dry up, but it's looking unlikely. So we're going to have a dry start into a wet finish in the Grand Prix, but no rain expected in qualifying. So the tires you start on will still play a big factor here. So since we have the rain coming in the later phase of the race, I would expect a couple of guys to try and get through Q2 on a set of the harder compounds of tyre to try and avoid having to make that extra stop. But it will have a huge mix-up of strategies. But, well, the last time that there was changeable conditions, Joni Sormala took the victory.
He certainly did, and in great style at Zandvoort, of course. And I don't think many of us really expected it. I was, of course, watching at that time. Dan Field was stepping in for me for commentary during that period. But this man, Joni Sormala, was the man who changed the game totally in that single race. Obviously, the weather came tumbling down, and the others weren't ready for it. A disastrous strategy for the Flying Dutchman, but the opportune moment for Joni Sormala to strike it, and certainly in excellent fashion, managing to get himself some very, very good points indeed. 16 points for AlphaTauri. There's only one race he hasn't effectively scored at, that being the French GP, Jack. So Joni Sormala, one to watch potentially tonight.
Yeah, Joni's always one to watch with these changeable conditions, and I see the good for you for mentioning that we have had these conditions multiple times across the season, and you're right, we have. It's been a little bit weird with how consistent it's been.
Drama,
we obviously. Exactly, yeah. We didn't have it in Italy though. We weren't expecting any rain at all in that session at all. But it's coming into rain 30 minutes into this race. Expected light rain, but we don't know. Again, we could have a Spa situation where it's not going to be wet enough to transition to dries, or we could have that weird scenario again. So it's possibly a case of now, well, I don't think Jan was going to make the same mistake twice from these conditions. If he feels the grip is not there, then I'm sure he's going to dive onto intermediate tyres, and well, he's going to be, I think, a little bit more proactive about switching to different compounds in this one. But it's always such a hard decision to make because it's hard to feel the conditions. You know that your crossover point is always when the DRS sign is disabled, but the grip usually goes away a little bit more than that. Nobody's out on the track at the moment. They've all just come out for an installation lap and come straight back into pit lane. So everyone leaving this quite late to come out and do some laps. So very, very quiet around Silverstone at the moment, as we didn't mention the Ferrari lineup. Actually, we've had Stachelex back this week, and Samuel Bean also in at Ferrari up in PSGL F1 as well. So let's wait to see how he gets on in this one. I think we're just missing one, actually. It's one of the few times we actually haven't had a full grid, and I think we were waiting for Alvaro Caratomo. I think he had some issues down the lines that he's not been able to get in for this evening, but nonetheless, it's all quiet out on track.
It is very quiet, and by the looks of it, at the moment, we are going to be one carless, which is a big shame, but never mind. We will wait, of course, to see how the drivers react to this session right now. But obviously, the instant reaction I'm getting is one of tentativeness, Jack. Not many of them wanting to go out just yet. Now, does this mean we are expecting some rain to come down in Q1? I mean, if that was the case,
according to my
software...
No, I mean, I don't think so. I'm pretty sure what we're probably seeing is some drivers not opting to go out on an installation lap on a set of intermediate tyres because they know they might need them. So they're going to sit in the garage and maybe wait and go out again as one of the Ferraris emerges. Samuel Bean emerges and gives us some on-track action as he comes down the pit lane on a set of medium tyres for his first installation lap for Samuel Bean, who will have all of the track to himself, and nobody else, as far as I can see, is emerging out onto pit lane yet. So Samuel Bean has got our undivided attention in that Ferrari.
He certainly does. He's now rounding the next right-hander, now towards the loop, which is, of course, almost a semi-hairpin bend. It's almost got two parts to it. A little bit of loss of traction there for Samuel Bean as he now makes his way down the stretch now. This, of course, being the Wellington Straight. Then heading down towards Brooklands, and we'll give you guys a nice feature of this Silverstone circuit to show you around all these corners, every part of this legendary track here today. And we're very fortunate to come here at PSGL, of course. It's always great to be at Silverstone. Of course, first race held here back in 1950 of the realm. And 150,000 capacity around this 5.891 kilometre circuit, 18 corners. Max Verstappen holds the race lap record here today, but I'm sure many will be here looking to try and break it their own way here in this race as we now watch Samuel Bean make his way around through Maggots and Beckett's, and now heading through the next left and very shortly down through the Hangar Straight. But Samuel Bean, newcomer on the block, has done well in World Online Racing, Jack, but coming here in Tier 1 at PSGL this time, and he's going to be facing a stiffer grid this time.
Yeah, very stiff competition for Samuel Bean, but I'm sure he's well up for the challenge. If he can, I think an aim for him would be to make it out of Q1, see if he can do that. And I think anything more than that would be a bonus for Samuel Bean. And Joni Tormel has now come out on the circuit. Sebastian Job's now out on the circuit as well. So now track action starting to pick up a bit now. Samuel Bean is beginning his lap now, and he'll have the first set time on the board for Q1, as long as he doesn't invalidate it, that is. Foreshadowing a little bit there, but Joni Tormel out on soft, Sebastian Job also out on the soft compound tyre, and Sebastian Job's going to be a very busy man this series with doing now, of course, he's officially announced at AlphaTauri for F1 Esports. He's got to balance that with the Porsche Super Cup on iRacing. So you want a multi-talented man, he's your man.
He certainly is. He's a man of many, many talents, Jack Canan. Just to answer a couple of questions in the chat, Ivan Stam, yes, the motion blur is on. It's just a little choice that I like to have when I'm on the game, so we do apologise for that. But yes, never you mind, the graphics still looking exceptionally good here tonight as Samuel Bean rounds his way through Copse Corner. Very shortly he's going to make his way through Maggots and Beckett's now in the Scuderia Ferrari, who are looking for an upturn in their fortunes right now. Currently lying in P6, still a long way to go. Level on points with Alfa Romeo, 17 points of the realm, and certainly with a driver like Samuel Bean there, who's used to certainly having a go at drivers in this field. Stachulek himself as well is also one that likes to bring certainly a lot of pace to the field too. So Ferrari with a very, very decent lineup, that's for sure, will certainly be looking to chase points. And big hello to everyone in the live chat watching here tonight as Samuel Bean comes around sector 3. Let's see what time he can nail on the board to get us underway here, folks, as he now comes across the line at 126.881. The installation lap in, Jack Canan. First one on the board, Samuel Bean.
Yep, and well, he's got one under the bag on a set of medium tyres. Everyone else seems to be out on soft, so he, unless he has done a mega lap there, he might have to probably go again just to make sure he's safe, as everybody except 2 are out on an out lap at the moment. And now we're going to get a foray of times on the board. And now coming through turn number 1 is the man who impressed immensely on his PC debut. It's Wilson Hughes at McLaren. He was on course for maybe a debut win had the desync not happened, but it's a home ground for Wilson Hughes in McLaren. And man, he was impressive last week.
He certainly was, one to watch, and he's been very good in seasons past on the PlayStation, Jack. The big question is, can they transfer the PlayStation form onto the PC? Naturally, though, you would have thought that coming to a PC where the FPS rating goes sky high now, it goes a lot further upwards than what the PlayStation can handle, that it would give Wilson Hughes a little bit of an advantage as Joni Tormel comes across the line at 126.133 on soft tyres. You'd expect him to go quicker than that, though, Jack.
Yeah, you would. We'll get an idea as there's so many sector times coming in. Samuel Bean's actually, he was on a second attempt there and he's invalidated it. Wilson Hughes now, Sebastian Joe, 0.106 goes to the top. Wilson Hughes on his way down towards Stowe Corner right now. Freddie Rasmussen goes the fastest in the first sector for now. But Wilson Hughes on a decent lap right here, 27.3 in both sectors. And now we'll see what he's able to do if he can pop it up to the front end. Let's see what he does in the McLaren. Round the last corner he comes across the start-finish line, and he will go to the top on a 26.080 for Wilson Hughes. Temporarily goes to the top of the order. And, well, we'll see what the others are able to do is Cedric Tomei goes just marginally faster, 9/1000s, and goes to the top.
Yeah, brilliant from Cedric Tomei. That's the way to do it. Lands himself on pole, well, certainly on pole position if we were talking Q3, that's for sure. But P1 for now in Q1. And this is brilliant. I have to say, great early showing. Certainly Wilson Hughes, that'll be a big boon to his confidence. And certainly go a long way. Valentin Brufet there. Freddie Rasmussen, welcome, sir. The Dane landing at 125.827, 2/10 near enough a second. Faster than Cedric Tomei. So a very, very good first lap from the Dane.
Yeah, and I think there's more time in that for Freddie Rasmussen. He had a massive moment coming through the last corners. He's definitely got more time in that. Nicholas Longe, 26.058, pops into second place. Donoso is on a lap now as well, and he is the man who won the very first social race around here in front of his teammate. Danny Moreno goes to second, 25.997. Here comes Donoso then round the last couple of corners in the Alpine. Where does he pop his car? He goes up to 8th on a 26.142. Room for improvement for Fabrizio Donoso, that's for sure. But the first couple of laps are on the board, but we still have some more to come, of course. Lewis Welch, Jake Benham, Lucas Blakely. We still have to see a time from him. He is on a time lap at the moment, Lucas Blakely. So let's see what he's able to do on his return into the last sector. He comes now in the Aston Martin, round the left, into the right-hander. Very tricky corner. This one gets on the power nicely. Flicks it around the last corner. Here comes Blakely. He goes up to third on a 26.029. So, as always, super close here in PSGL. Small improvements will gain you a lot, but a couple that still need to get improvements. Lewis Welch, Jake Benham, Peter Stakelek, Samuel Bean. The man of the bubble is Paris Burel as well, who's also another man who moved from PS4 over to PC. So it'd be interesting to see how they get on together. But he's currently on the bubble by just over 0.4 of a second.
Yeah, we love to see it, certainly, Jack. Some of these great drivers from consoles transferring over to the PC side, and Jake Benham now looking to do certainly the business here in top tier. Jake Benham, of course, a force to be reckoned with, signed by Veloce this season. Now we're going to watch Jake Benham come through in the Haas, try and work his way around, currently second in the driver's standings behind Jarno Opmeer. Here comes the all-star Jake Benham across the line at 126.221 is what he lands to get himself off the bottom end of the classification. Puerto Stachulek, the only man yet to field a lap time. Patrick Saipos still on the bubble. John Evans still out on track as well, currently in P12, or Jevons, as Tom Martinez likes to call him. I know we had a conversation about it last night. Did make me chuckle. He doesn't like it, folks, but nevertheless, we like a bit of Johnny Evans as now he comes into the pit lane, and the Aston Martin will now come into the garage in the Aston Martin, and I'm sure he'll need to go again. Those lap times are going to have to come down quite exponentially, Jack, certainly with the last 4 minutes still remaining.
Yeah, and you can see that it's just immensely close. You've got Lucas Blakely on a 26.0 up in third, and all the way down to Patrick Sipos is a 26.3. That's 0.3 that will see you up to third. So there's very, very marginal improvements that will see you through into Q2. Samuel Bean is the only one on the time lap at the moment, by the looks of it, on a fast time lap, that is. He's on an improvement. He's on a 26.8, but he's decided to come in and stop that attempt as he comes into pit lane. But interesting stuff all the way around. Patrick Sipos is the man on the bubble. He's on his way out of the pit lane now. He's going to go for a run while everyone is kind of sat in pit lane. Lewis Welch has improved up to 7th, so he's currently safe into Q2 by just over 1,000th of a second in front of Sebastian Job. And it'll be interesting to see how they get on. But Valentin Bruffair and Patrick Sipos, the only two out on the circuit at the moment, along with Sakalek, who's just emerged out onto the track as well. So these guys need improvements, but a tenth and a half, even 0.2 will probably see them safe.
Absolutely. Well, Bruffair now making his way around Maggots and Beckett. It's great to see Valentin back on the circuit. Also joining Jake Benham at Veloce as well. So the pair of them, who have raced together many, many times, are now back again this time. And they were both competing in PSGL last season as well. Valentin Bruffair looked like one of the young upstarts as well, where it came to F1 League racing and certainly F1 esports as well. Keep an eye on Valentin Bruffair for the future as he now winds his way through the final corners, coming out of Club Corner now, rounding down the Lewis Hamilton straight. And that McLaren that tasted victory at Monza, of course, with Lando Norris and Daniel Ricciardo, crucially, who took a shoey on the top of the podium. And certainly this orange McLaren will be looking to do exactly the same again. Big opportunity for Bruffair and Wilson Hughes tonight, Jack.
absolutely. I can see in the YouTube chat, Caraton is watching us. Pity you're not on the grid, Alvaro, as he watches Silverstone tonight. But maybe it's better sometimes to sit back and just watch the action without the stress sometimes as they come down into Brooklyn's Valentin Bruffair. He's just 6/100ths up on his personal best time. It's a 27.272 in the first sector, just a couple of hundredths off of the fastest, which was set by Freddie Rasmussen. So if you can keep this up, this will be a very good attempt by Valentin Bruffair into Copse. Comes Blakely's happy with his lap. He's decided to retire, so he should be safely through. He's hoping he's safely through in this phase of the Q1 area. And now here they go through Maggots and Beckett and onto Chapel. They're the rear end really coming away from Bruffair in the midsection of that corner, but he gets away with that. He's found 0.2 of a second in the middle sector, so Valentin Bruffair is doing enough right now to see himself safely through to Q2. His middle sector at 35.3, just under a tenth off of Rasmussen, but it will be enough to see him through as long as he hooks this last sector together. Here comes the Mclaren of Valentin Bruffair, looking to get safely through to Q2. Round the last corner, comes across the line, it's third at 26.022, and that should be well safe into Q2. That's the lap he needed out of the bag, and the man who really needs it now, George, is Patrick Sipos on the bubble in P15.
Yeah, and he's only taking shavings off Jack off his delta time. 1.5 tenths is all he gained in sector 2, but as he now flies around the next right-hander in the Williams, incoming now, the Williams of Patrick Sipos, the only Williams on the track here tonight as he comes through now the next right, and certainly heading through the next straight very, very shortly as he rounds round the final corner across the Lewis Hamilton straight. P8 is what he gets into the top 10. It's enough, but the question is, will it be enough at the end of the session? Plenty of cars out on track, including one Flying Dutchman, Jarno Opmeer, out on a hot lap.
Jarno needs a lap here, George. He's P14 at the moment. Peter Stakelek pulls a timeout up to P2. So Jarno not safe at the moment. I'm sure he's going to hook this lap together, no problem, but he can't afford an invalidation right now. Joni Tormela was fastest in the first sector. Right there, but that's been taken away by Nicholas Longe, who's on a good lap. Here comes Tormela across the line, and he goes to second into... well, he did go to second for a moment, but he's decided to crash into the back of an AI across the line right there as they come up towards now Brooklyn's Jake Benham, George. It's P2 in the championship. He's currently not in as they start to sort themselves out. I think we could have lobby issues here, George.
I think we do. I think we have a lobby issue.
I think we have a lobby issue again.
Yeah, we're going to have to take a break, folks. This doesn't look good. Q1 already suffering some issues. We didn't see this last week, but bear with us. We will find out what's happening, and I think we'll just have to sit tight for a minute. Freddie Rasmussen currently up at top spot. Let's just keep an eye and see what happens. Jarno Opmeer heading down into the next right-hander, and I'm sure the Black Arrow will be looking to try and park himself back on top. We'll have to see whether... I think he's actually on a slowdown lap. I'm not sure whether this is going to be a legit time as he makes his way through. I think it will be. A 120 coming around Club Corner now. What's going to happen as he heads his way down the stretch? A lot of cars littered in the pit. Oh, dear. Yeah, it's not looking good, Jack. I think we're going to have to take a break, folks. We'll bring you back with some live action very, very shortly. We're just going to revert back into our commentary room, our commentary broadcast room, while we just find out what the situation with the lobby is, folks. Obviously not ideal, but Jack, the opening signs from that, Red Bull looking the quickest, Freddie Rasmussen fastest in that session, but I'm sure we can expect a little bit more from our usual Mercedes contenders and many others on this grid as well.
Yeah, hopefully. That's the hope at the very least. But I hope at least this week that we're going to be able to catch these issues earlier in this one. So we're going to try and sort this out in the background as we get through this. But Rasmussen, the pace setter at the moment, Tormela was looking very good right there. The official results have just come up. Rasmussen and Stakelek at the top, but they have advanced through qualifying by the looks of it. So I think we're probably going to get a lobby restart on this one. So we'll wait and see what happens, everybody. Stay calm in the live chat. We're sorting this out as best we can. But yeah, it's not ideal, especially in Q1, but the hope is that we catch it in Q1 and we don't have it later on.
Yeah, we're going to try and bring you a race, folks. We're dedicated to bring you a race. We're not stopping this time. Obviously, what happened last week, it happened far too late on. There was not a lot we can do, but we're going to try and hook things up for you here tonight. Obviously, do stay with us. Stay tuned. We're going to try and bring you a race, whatever we can do. We certainly don't want another week. Obviously, everyone looks forward to Thursday nights. I certainly do. Jack Canan wants a race. It's his last one, at least for now. So surely we want to make sure that we do have at least something to cheer on at Silverstone. But nevertheless, we've actually come through to Q2. I can see that they've only actually allowed 11 cars to go into the next session. So, yeah, there must be a little issue that we're watching here. So do stay tuned, folks. It's certainly going to be interesting. We're going to have a race. Don't worry about it. We're going to have a lobby. Just stay chill.
We are. It's just been confirmed. We are restarting with short qualifying.
We're restarting,
so, we are restarting with short qualifying. So,
yeah. We're restarting. Short qualifying, folks. That's what we're having. Short quali restart. That's what we're having. So there you go, folks, at home. Do stay tuned and keep together with the action. I'm hearing a lot of people in the chat. They want to see Jarno come back in with some results as well. Obviously, we're going to be starting things out now. It's going to be great. It's going to be a good race, folks. We love Silverstone. We love the British Grand Prix. Let's talk about the form of some of the drivers. Jack, obviously, Jarno Opmeer, pretty much untouched. Whatever happens here today, he will remain on top in terms of the standings. Looking in behind, though, Jake Benham. How about that? P2 currently ahead of some real big heavyweights in the world of esports.
Absolutely, yeah. He's looking very, very good up to this point. We've also just had confirmation that even if you were about to be knocked out in Q1, doesn't matter, you can participate in this one because we technically didn't get to the finish of it in the end. So we're going to move on. Short qualifying, we're going to try get as close as we can to what the forecast was right there. So we should get some rain in the race by the looks of it. So we've got the guys setting up as quickly as they can in the background. And, we are going to just have another 18-minute qualifying session. Straight shootout for pole. No Q1, no Q2, no Q3. And we'll hope that we have we hope we don't have a repeat of those issues again. It wasn't just us, it was the drivers too. They were straight on the Discord with the reports in the issues right there as well. So, interesting to see it rear its ugly head in the early part of Q1, but we're definitely going to get a race underway here by the looks of it. But I think Philip Preschnader, he's just admitted responsibility for that one, George. He said that he crashed his car across the start-finish line, and that might have caused the issue that we saw there. Yeah, absolutely. I think poor old Philip, just a little incident heading down the home straight. I'm sure he's not the main guilty party. I mean, what would usually happen in that instance? I mean, it's semi-realistic because at the end of the day, a car isn't really meant to disappear off a track. When it crashes, it tends to be, at a standstill, really, doesn't it? But so give him credit. It was realistic in a way. When a car hits another car, it sort of implodes on impact. That's the way it works. That's physics. But nevertheless, we're going to wait until a new lobby comes to action, folks. But no, it's a pleasure to have you all with us. Just want to reinforce the fact as well, folks, that we at PSGL are always dedicated to bring you racing action every Thursday and almost every night as well, where we have PlayStation and other PC tiers running as well. So please make sure you leave a subscribe and also a like to the broadcast as well to support the league, because obviously we are intent on bringing you action most of the week. I tell you what, there's rarely a day, Jack, that goes by without there being some form of PSGL action. Absolutely not. That's the best thing about PSGL is that we have so many other tiers that you can support throughout the rest of the week as well. It's not just Thursdays. You've got F2, F3, all the way down to F13, all the way down there that you can support in this one as well. The lobby's been set up. Jarno's on the money tonight, our lobby host, as he gets everybody in as quickly as we can. Short qualifying, 26 lap race. And we'll see what the weather's going to be. It's going to be quite close to... we think it could be quite close. It could change totally. Could have a totally different weather lineup coming into this one. So we just have to wait for the last few drivers to come in. We're just waiting on 2 more, and then we'll start... get to do the fun of qualifying all over again. Yes. For this last race as well. And guys in the chat, it's not cancelled. We're just about to start again. Yeah, we're just it's the calm before the storm, peeps. Just stay chilled. It's okay. We're bringing you some action. Jarno Opmeer has just invited me and Jack Canan into the lobby. So we're in the lobby now. We're getting ready to go. It's going to be very interesting to certainly see what happens in a short qualifying
certainly, sort of situation. Very different from the usual Q1, Q2, and Q3 race. So I think we're still going to see some rain, as you said, Jack. So obviously looking forward to seeing how the drivers cope with that. Obviously, maybe a few on tender hooks now, maybe a little uneasy after that session. When it comes to an end, when you're so focused and ingrained in what's going on, and then all of a sudden you get chucked into a whole new session, I mean, that must, play on the mind a little bit. Certainly where it comes to a lot of the youngsters who have not been perhaps as experienced in terms of racing against a grid of this caliber.
It could do, yeah, but it also rescues some people who were about to be knocked out in Q1, so they'll have a second chance, so to speak, in this one. So we'll wait and see what can happen in this one. But it looks like we have basically everybody. We've managed to draft in a very last-minute replacement at Williams, which is brilliant. We were missing Alvaro Carreton. Ruben Pedreño's just been drafted into Williams, so that's how quickly we can get drivers in. So we have got 2 Williams cars in that. No messing around.
We don't
here.
mess about. See, I tell you what, Big C, he's on it. He's good. I tell you what, 20 cars will line up in short qualifying, folks. We will have a full grid. Ruben Pedreño, a very classy sort indeed. Looking forward to seeing how he gets on. Just want to say a big thank you to all the kind comments in the live chat as well. I've been seeing them all filter in. Sorry, I missed a few of them. We've been talking, obviously, about the situation in terms of short qualifying that we're going to be coming up to now. Just want to say a massive thank you again for all your support. It really does mean a lot, and it's certainly going to be a very special race here tonight. Obviously, not only because, it's Silverstone British Grand Prix, but it is Jack Cannan's last race, so we must have a race tonight. We can't let Jack Cannan down, that's for sure. But we're looking forward to seeing what these guys can do. We've got a very, very high contesting grid here tonight. Lots of them, pretty much all of them, professionals in their own right, signed to esports teams. Great to see, though, a lot of the PSGL drivers being selected for the F1 Esports Pro Championship, Jack. Brilliant to see.
Yeah, and that's the pool of talent that we have here in PSGL. We're loading into the lobby. It's happening, guys. We're getting qualifying underway again. So short qualifying this time. If you aren't aware, if you just missed, we had lobby issues. We've restarted the lobby. We're not doing Q1, Q2, Q3. We're just doing an 18-minute short qualifying session to determine our grid for this evening's British Grand Prix. So second opportunity for everybody to get underway. So we'll have to wait and see what the forecast is going to be for this race once we get into the lobby to try and see. We're looking right here, and the rain's disappeared.
It has. We've only got blue sky, Jack, with a bit of patchy white cloud as well. But just looking at this chat now, obviously we can see that, George, if you've got the chat, we've got question time here, Jack. George, if you've got the chance to be F1 Esports commentator, would you be one? Maybe. Technically, I get to do it anyway, Jack. I'm here every Thursday. This is F1 Esports in a way, in its own right. If you look at the grid.
Yeah. Yeah. If you look at the grid, it's basically the same one. In the grand scheme of it, it's quite close. But there you go.
You take the real one all day long, though.
Oh, of course it would. Yeah, all the way. So I'm just looking here just to update everyone on the weather conditions. Looking at short qualifying. All dry race has now switched from being a half dry, half wet race to now being a full dry race for Silverstone, which is quite rare within the league racing scene, but no wet race this time in this one. So all dry all the way through. So now we're going to see what the strategies are going to be. But I'm not seeing anybody doing the classic intermediates for their first runs anymore. Not in short qualifying, not for Q1. You've got to try get a lap in as quickly and as early as you can in short qualifying. So we've had the traditional runs in Q1, but now short qualifying to determine our grid for this race. So now a second chance for all of these guys to go again, and they've got 16 minutes to try and set a lap here. There's a number of them out on the circuit. Some are only going to go for maybe 1 or 2 runs, but a couple of guys straight out there onto the circuit on soft tires. Nobody going for anything other than soft tires in this short qualifying. Now they've got a full dry race. Well, I've actually just been proved wrong. Lucas Blakely's out on the mediums.
Yeah, he certainly is. And you can see there's the big rundown. Lucas Blakely, the sole man, not on soft tyres, folks. The rest of them out on the quicker compound. So we'll have to wait and see. Obviously, Patrick Saipos, currently the only man out on a fast lap right now, and he's making his way through Sector 1. And very shortly, he will be heading around the next right-hander as well. Great to see all these drivers out in abundance as they round the next left. And certainly Patrick Saipos. I'm going to follow up that great qualifying visit from pre-season, Jack. He will like it here tonight. We could see a real turn-up for the books here for that Williams man, because he is a very, very class act in a car on this game.
Yeah, he absolutely is. As he took pole here in the social race. Don't forget, did Patrick Sipos? So he's got the pedigree from the early races. So let's see if he can carry that forward as he comes up towards Copse Corner, chucks it into the right at 180 miles an hour on the apex, and these cars can take it on rails. It's unbelievable. Maggots, Beckett's, as he comes through here now into Chapel, the right-hander just afterwards, using all the curb all the way out to the curb on the left. DRS detection then just on there, activation all the way down the Hanger Straight and up towards Stowe Corner. He just got one of the Alpha Towers out of the way. Sebastian Job is getting out of the way of Sipos there as he comes round Stowe, gets on the power again, onto the brakes for the last sector now. This will be the first benchmark time set by Patrick Sipos, and see what he's able to do here as he comes round the last corner, gets across the start-finish line, and it's a 25.911. Fastest time in Q1 just a few moments ago was a 25.8, so not bad at all for a first ever from Patrick Sipos.
No, not at all. Cedric Tomei now winding his way through Sector 2, and Cedric Tomei certainly in the Haas team for this season once again, and very much a team leader now at this moment in time. Has got two new young drivers to join him at the esports team racing in the Pro Championship this year, Mattis van Erven and of course Samuel Lebert, who of course are all part now of working with R8G Esports. Some of you may know that is ran by Romain Grosjean, of course, current driver in IndyCar, former driver of the Haas team as well. And as we heard from the story yesterday, it was Gunther Steiner who got on the phone, certainly to Romain Grosjean, and said, "Hey, Romain, can you help me out with this team? I know nothing about esports, but I know you might be able to help me out." And Romain Grosjean obliged, and now he's leading this squadron of cars here as Fabrizio Donoso goes up into P1. Now Cedric Tomei, who looks to try and light things up. He likes Silverstone as he crosses the line, and certainly no time just yet set. I think that was an invalidation, Jack, unfortunately.
Yeah, it certainly was. Fabrizio Donoso now, technically speaking, if we're talking about the team lineup, that is an Alpine 1-2-3 at the moment. So Donoso, Sipos, Longue at the top of the order. 25-8, 25-9, 25-9. For all of those guys, as Rasmussen straight out of the box to 25.817. That's close enough to the time that he set in Q1. So 25.8 again for Freddie Rasmussen straight out of the box. Jarno Watmer was immediate at 26.007. Valentin Bruffer 26.003. Very close across the board here for these guys. But to tell you what, Rasmussen straight out of the box at 25.8. He's looking like the man to beat all of a sudden.
Yeah, he's consistent, Jack. That's similar time that he set in our previous session where we were in Q1, of course, and landed at 25.8 right from the get-go. Donoso not far away, though. Alpine like this track, Jack. They really do. Remember, they really performed in pre-season. Remember, it was Sipos who got pole, but he crashed out towards the, well, in the earlier echelons of the race, but it was Donoso and Longue who brought the result home here for Alpine. As now we're now watching Danny Moreno now head through the final couple of bends here. The Nicky Loud, the Lewis Hamilton straight out Beckett, as he comes across the line. Danny Moreno, the machine, lands a
same time
and at same time as Freddie Rasmussen, a 125.817. Extraordinary, Jack Kinnan.
Oh, I'm gonna be that guy. Technically, Rasmussen should still have it because he said it first. But nonetheless,
okay.
Moreno takes it, but ahead of the guy in front of Rasmussen. But I tell you what, exactly the same time set by Moreno around a lap that's nearly, just over 5 kilometers long. That's incredible. So Moreno, Rasmussen at the head of the field. And let's see what Blakely's able to do as he comes across the line. He's not able to get across the line there, but he's going to go maybe for another attempt here. He's backed out of his attempt at the very end, possibly invalidated it there, but he's now trying to get back on the order. But this is mental. How about that? Top 3 within the same 10th, and Moreno and Rasmussen can't be separated at all around a 5-kilometer lap.
No, do you know what we're missing now, Jack? Is Heinz-Harald Frentzen. We just need Frentzen.
Yes.
And that is all we need. Wilson Hughes now making his way around the track here on a fast lap as well. And he's coming through Sector 1. DRS now open and heading down through towards the next left-hander. McLaren certainly, once again, as we said before, what a lineup they have for F1 Esports this season. Barry Burman, Josh Idawu, both of them have raced here in PSGL PSGL. McLaren taking a little bit of a different tactic this season. They're going to try and close the doors on what McLaren Shadow are operating. Certainly not doing any league racing, at least for now. They're going to approach esports in a different fashion. But that opens the doors for these two youngsters, Wilson Hughes and Valentin Brufair, as now Wilson hightails now through this next section. That, of course, being Magnussen Beckett, as he now makes his way out, powering out through. And I did have a feeling he did cut the curve ever so slightly, heading through Beckett's. Big shame there for Wilson Hughes. But McLaren certainly not out of it, Jack.
Yeah, he just invalidated as we went on board with him. So we've cursed Wilson Hughes, unfortunately, as he was on his lap right there. It was a good lap. He was at 27.2 in the first sector, which is on par with Moreno. But the purple first sector is currently being held by Rasmussen, 27.1 in the first sector for Rasmussen. But it's amazing how close, how the different drivers made up time. It was a purple first sector for Rasmussen. Moreno brought it back in the middle. And it's actually Donoso as the fastest final sector. So nobody's hooked up a purple lap so far. Everyone else, they all hold their own sectors. So Rasmussen has the strongest first, Moreno the strongest middle, and Donoso the strongest final sector. So it's going to take somebody to just improve in one sector, and that'll be enough.
Yeah, absolutely. Johnny Evans out on track as well in the Aston Martin. Of course, in for Shanaka Clay here tonight. If you remember, Lucas Blakely obviously signed to the team. Shanaka Clay was with us earlier on in the season, but not able to make it tonight. So in comes new man John Evans, who is, of course, a good youngster, obviously trying to find his way through into the upper echelons of league racing and esports. And certainly it would be such a boon to his league racing career to get a number upon a number of these drivers, that's for sure. Paris Burrell also wearing the same feathered cap too in the Alfa Romeo car, trying to find his way around. What's the latest, Jack Kinnan? Was that around Copse there? Got a bit close.
John Evans opposite locking through Copse corner. That is something else from John Evans. He had a lot of traffic in front of him. He got a wash of dirty air as he came through Copse corner. And maybe just got put off by the cars on the inside and just went full opposite lock through Copse corner in the Aston Martin. So he's going to have to maybe get some new overalls and go again. Johnny Evans right there. But I'm sure it won't have shaken him up too much. He's just going to back off and get ready to go again. Such is the way of these guys. As Jake Benham is on a fast lap at the moment. 27.2, 35.3. This is going to be up there, George, as he comes around to the last sector here. Jake Benham, who took a shock front row start in Spa. Let's see what this man who's second in the championship is able to do now. Around the last corner, Jake Benham in the Haas. What's he able to do? He goes up to third at 25.859 in front of Fabrizio Donoso, just enough to pop him in front there. And Jake Benham continuing to impress right here as Brufair out of nowhere up to third, 25.8 as well. How about that? Top five are within the same 10th of a second around this 5 kilometer long circuit. Brufair took the purple final sector there. So fair play to Valentin Brufair, but I'm looking here now, Jarno Watmir is on a lap, 27.1 in the first sector, on the money with Freddie Rasmussen at 35.3 in the middle, not improving on his best, but this is going to be right up there for Jarno Watmir. Here he comes across the line. It's not going to be enough. It's P9 for Jarno Watmir at the very end as Nicholas Longe goes purple in the first sector.
He certainly does, and he's into Sector 2 proper now, heading around Copse corner, and let's see what this man Longe can do himself, because certainly the Frenchman will be looking to join his partner Fabrizio Donoso up into the top 5 now, heading through Magnussen Beckett's now this time. Yanni Torbala blows him out here with a 125.764 and goes ahead of Mercedes driver Danny Moreno. The machine just toppled there slightly by the man Yanni Torbala from AlphaTauri, and that is something for Red Bull to certainly celebrate. They've got a Red Bull Racing Camp driver in P1, P3. Further down, of course, we've got plenty more to find their way through as Donoso moves his way up into P2 as well. And certainly, I'd imagine that Nicholas Longe will want to do exactly the same. Heading into Sector 3, Longe with a blowout as well. A 125.755. Welcome to the party, my son. Alpine, top in the billing here. Pole position currently for them.
That is brilliant. Top 3 within the same 10, the 200 between the top 3. Nicholas Longe, Yanni Torbala, and Fabrizio Donoso, your top 3. Moreno P4 with Rasmussen P5. Stakelek up in 6. John Evans has the time to get himself up to P7. And right now, Jarno Watmir sitting in P12. for him at the moment. We wait now as Blakely, 25.694 for Lucas Blakely. Has had a very quiet qualifying, but has now just pulled the time out and taken that provisional pole with 5 minutes left on the clock. So I'm looking here to see if anybody else is going to be able to match that so far. Looking at the sectors, took that purple final sector. It's now Moreno with the fastest middle and Longue with the fastest first sector, and they all have their own strong sectors. This is why this is brilliant.
Yeah, absolutely. Danny Moreno just hopping himself up into P2 as well, and that's where he got that purple sector as well. Plenty of drivers are out on laps, and as you can see further down, Lewis Welch also out on track. Of course, Paris Burrell is going to be joining him soon as well, albeit though going slowly in Sector 3, and they got an AlphaTauri behind him as well, so they want to be careful. That could be actually Sebastian Joe, but it is in fact. He's not on a fast lap though either, unfortunately. Plenty of cars still out and about looking to try and set delta laps. Wilson Hughes, of course, being one of them, though he's 8 tenths down in Sector 2 right now, as we're now looking at further down as well. Lewis Welch looking out on track as well in the Red Bull as he makes his way around the next right-hander, heading down the old paddock straight, and very soon it'll be Copse Corner for him as well. And certainly Red Bull are going to be looking for an upturn in their fortune. Still, Freddie Rasmussen, after a very bold start, not able to recapture it just yet, but we have still got 4 minutes left, and I get the feeling once again, Jack, the calm before the storm. These drivers are getting ready for one final run.
Yeah, and to be honest, it's very, very hard to call who's going to take pole here at the very least, because Blakely has pulled that out of nowhere. Moreno's looking very strong this evening here in Silverstone, as is Longue, Tourmalet, Denoso, Rasmussen as well. We know Rasmussen has got more pace than that, so we'll wait and see what he's able to do. But it's just incredibly close down to the bottom. 26.2 is the slowest time so far, and that is 6 tenths of a second for Philip Preschneider, but I'm sure he's got more. So if we take that time out of the equation, it's 4 tenths of a second between the entire field.
Yeah, absolutely. Just literally, you could separate them. The gap is thinner, folks, than a fly's eyelash once again. And it's a phrase I like to use because it's never, ever not true. These drivers are absolutely sensational. Great to see the likes of Lucas Blakely up on top tier, or certainly up at the top echelons of this classification. Coming out now of the pits, it's that man again, Nicolas Longue. And, of course, we have got our Pundit Predictions out tonight, Jack. What do you rate Longue's chances here tonight?
Well, he's my tip tonight is Nicolas Longue, so let's see how he gets on. But he's doing a good job at the moment, and well, let's see, because it's been kind of a rough and tumble season so far for Longue. He's qualified well, but has never been able to convert the qualifying into race. It's the same for all of the Alpines, really. So far this season. I mean, judging it, we thought that it was going to be a very close season off the back of the socials, really, but it just hasn't materialised for Alpine yet. So hopefully returning onto the ground where they took a 1-2 should give them a little boost. And right now their qualifying is looking very, very good. Longue and Denoso just separated by just 0.02 of a second at the moment, with Tourmalet splitting them in P4. And Lucas Blakely, well, he's looking very good. He has a pole position to his name already this season, but he'd like a second one, and we'll wait to see what he's able to do. Basically, everybody's out on the circuit. Well, Lewis Welch is on his way out on the circuit now. 20 cars out on the circuit. 1 minute and 50 seconds left on the clock for short qualifying in Silverstone. And Paris Burrell is the only man on the fast lap at the moment, but we're about to enter the fun part of qualifying.
Well, currently it's sitting on the timing at this moment of 1 minute 57, so I don't think that's necessarily true. It's now a 27 point. I think we might have another glitch on the way, Jack. Do bear with us.
Please, no.
It's not looking good, I have to say. Patrick Saipos out on track 2. Remember, he was the man who etched pole to his name, certainly here at Silverstone in pre-season, as we've said previously, and certainly you'd favour him to do it again. He knows how to do it, and certainly if you keep an eye on him, we could be seeing yet more fantastic results here from this man, Patrick Saipos, the young pretender from Alpine, looking to try and do the business already. Has gone quicker in Sector 1, Jack. This young man, is certainly looking to find every way, which way, to impress us here tonight.
It certainly is, and it's a 27.192 for Sitbos in the first sector. How's that faring up? It's just about a couple of hundredths down on the fastest by Nicholas Longa, but it's still good nonetheless from Patrick Sitbos. Let's see what he's able to do in the middle. Donoso's invalidated his time. He's going to have to go again, if he decides to go again, that is. Here comes Sitbos then, now through onto the back straight, on the hanger straight, on the way down. Right now, how is the sector looking at 35.247 in the middle, a couple of hundredths off the best time by Danny Moreno, but this may be able to get him up in the top 5 here if he can get this last bit of the lap complete. He's going to have traffic in the final sector here as he comes into the final sector now. Let's see what Sitbos is able to do now. Through the last sector, he's going to get himself on the power towards the line. Where is Sitbos going to go with this lap? He comes across the line and he's not on the timing screens. Please let this not happen again.
No, I've got some bad feelings about this, Jack Canan. I really have.
Oh, no!
It's not looking good. It's not looking good. Danny Moreno currently up into P2 right now. He's on a fast lap. Jarno Opmeer, though, welcome to the show. At 125.663, lands himself on top billing, says the Flying Dutchman. So that's the way to do it. He's up at the top end, P1, and currently within half a tenth of Lucas Blakely. I have to say, so Blakely not out of the woods yet. He's making his way around Sector 3 now and coming down towards the final few bends. In comes the Aston Martin around through Club Corner now very, very shortly. The Aston Martin livery, the green livery of Lucas Blakely as he comes around the final bend and slows up the Delta lap. It's not working out. Blakely in second place.
Yeah, backed out right at the end there. Top 3 all in a 125.6 at the moment as Danny Moreno's on a lap now as well. We have a few drivers also reporting some problems here, so we'll have to wait and see what happens. But Jarno Opmeer, that's a superb time. 25.663. Rasmussen, 25.532 for Freddie Rasmussen.
Wow,
He's pulled another one out of the bag for Rasmussen as he comes round the final corner now. Danny Moreno round the last corner. What's Moreno able to do? Here comes across the line. It's not enough for Moreno, but Freddie Rasmussen has pulled one hell of a time out of the bag, a tenth and a half quicker than Jarno Opmeer in the final bit of qualifying. That is superb from Rasmussen.
That is absolutely brilliant. Freddie Rasmussen, the Great Dane, lands again at 125.532 to his name. Sensational from Frederick Rasmussen, and Red Bull would be delighted. But joining him on the front row, Jarno Opmeer, the Flying Dutchman, against the Great Dane. That's exactly what we want to see. A battle with two of the greatest. But look at Sebastian Job there, Jack. A 125.692. He can do it in the Carrera Cup. He's going to try and do it here tonight.
Wow, Sebastian Job, 125.6, like 2/1000ths of a second quicker than Lucas Blakely. Nicholas Longa, the 25.6, but that is unbelievable from Freddie Rasmussen. What a time to come in with at the very end, 25.53. He managed to take a brilliant pole position in front of Jarno Opmeer that is a tasty front row right there. Sebastian Job, a superb qualifying from the British driver, sees him start in P3. Lucas Blakely starts in 4th with Nicholas Longa, P5. Moreno starts 6th. Tormola, John Evans up in the top 10 for Britio Donoso and Wilson Hughes. Then Peter Stakelek, Valentin Brufair, Jake Benham, Sipos, Tome, Bean, Birel, Welch, Pedreño and Preschnader as the grid for this race. Well, Freddie Rasmussen, what can you say about that, man? The biggest pole margin so far. That is a lap that needs an onboard.
Certainly does. I mean, what a way to start, certainly here tonight. We have got a sensational, selection of drivers up at the top end, and that's exactly what we want to see, folks. I'm not sure what's going to happen. There's currently a great debate going on in the background as to what's going to happen for this race. Lots of drivers saying that there is a list of issues. We're going to keep you posted, folks. We will try and keep it. We're going to go straight to the track because there is no formation lap tonight because of the issues. Codemasters have obviously stepped in, done some, certainly looked into the race or looked into the lobby. So it could be a case that we get away straight away here in this race. But we'll keep you posted. There's talk.
Restart.
We are getting a race restart. So we are getting a race restart, folks. So there will be no race at the moment. The only way I can imagine this happening is that they're going to be having... I'd imagine they'll be putting a custom grid in for the start of the race. So we're going to have to wait and see, folks. The lobby had desynced again. They got more problems. Looking now, we're going to go straight into a race with the drivers all that have qualified. We're going to have those list of drivers then made behind the scenes for the start of the race. So qualifying still technically counts, Jack.
Yeah, the grid will be set as per qualifying. So it is possible to do that. So that's the way it's going, unfortunately. This is what we have to do. We're going to try, at the very least, to get this underway. But the guys are having serious problems. They can't actually see each other at the moment. There's a couple of guys that can't see each other on the grid, and cars sitting in the middle of the pit lane at the moment. So not good at all. But we're going to try again. We're going to set the grid as per qualifying right there. So we might have somebody else try and host as well. We're going to try everything to try and get a race out here. But well, this is not something we hope that would repeat. But listen, we have to make do with what we got, unfortunately.
Yeah, no, absolutely. We're just gonna have to deal with the situation that we've got at hand. It's not ideal. Obviously, we're gonna do our best for you folks. We do appreciate all your support. Naturally, apologies from us here at PSGL on behalf of the Formula 1 game. Obviously, at the moment, it's not working out for us, but we're gonna do our best to bring you a race nevertheless. Naturally, we're gonna do everything we can necessary, okay? So we want a race. We don't want it to be a situation like last week. No more rants. No more rants. I'm going to be on my best behavior tonight. We're just literally looking at this right now. Obviously, plenty to look forward to. Lots of great drivers out on the grid. I'd like to thank you all ever so much for your incredible support and being so patient with us tonight. You guys do mean a lot to us, certainly here at PSGL. You do help us here at Premier Sim Gaming Leagues. And if you would, please leave us a subscribe and a like as well. If anything, you've had extra content tonight. That's not bad at all.
Yeah, you've had 2 qualifying sessions, and now you're going to get a race. So let's hope that this hopefully goes ahead without the problems. I'm sure we're going to have an air of optimism, but we'll see what happens with this one. So. Anyways, let's breathe again. We know who's starting on pole. That's the main thing. It's Freddie Rasmussen and Jarno Watmere on the front row, which is exactly what we want. The guys who fought each other for the F1 Esports title last season, now sharing a front row. But I have to give a hat tip, seriously, to Rasmussen, because that was one of the tidiest laps I've seen around this circuit at 25.53, 10th and a bit in front of Otmere as well. And, of course, a hat tip to Sebastian Joe. That's a great qualifying from him. He's obviously put some hours into the game in preparation for his for F1 Esports this season. So we'll have to wait to see how he gets on in the race. He's got a podium to his name already. I know Marku has actually tipped him to win the race, and to be fair, it's actually not looking like a bad prediction at the moment. No,
I have to say he's looking in pretty good fine fettle right now. I'm quite happy with my tip. I've gone for Otmere tonight, so I'm feeling positive, I think. We'll obviously have to wait and see. He's on the front row of the grid, so I am feeling pretty confident. He's never let me down before, as Jarno, really. Oh, maybe on the odd occasion, but if anything, he's got himself a podium. He's even said to me that, you know, he only gets a podium if I'm commentating. So I'm going to take that on board. I'm hoping that's good luck. So at least we can try and put ourselves in the podium frame. Because at the end of the day, you've got to be in it to win it, Jack Canan. So we're going in here tonight. Obviously, you can see the Pundit Predictions on my left-hand side, folks. If you look at this now, Jarno Watmere is my pick. Jack, you've gone for Nicholas Longe. Big C, Connor, he has gone for Danny Moreno, the alternate Mercedes, with Manuelos as well. Sebastian Job, could that be the dark horse tonight?
Well, he's surprised us in qualifying. We didn't predict him to start that far up, but all of a sudden he's popped himself into third. So, you know, stranger things have certainly happened. All we have to do is look at Zandvoort, and that's it. That's your kind of. That just shows you he's well capable of it as well. Joni Tormala, he's up there again, isn't he? On the second row of the grid. And Joni, of course, he's a winner in PSGL now. He's won in Zandvoort. So he's carrying momentum. He's technically the previous winner. And he's carrying that momentum forward from Zandvoort into this race as well. Jarno, he wants to get back after what happened, of course, in Zandvoort as well. So he wants to get on top of that. And, well, I mean, he's got on the front row, but, I mean, how you've got to go up against Freddie Rasmussen here, and Freddie made an alternate strategy work when he took his win as well. He went so long on a set of soft compound tyres and made it work. So Freddie Rasmussen, he's starting on pole. Nobody's tipped him, surprisingly, because we didn't know he was racing till earlier on today, but nobody's tipped him. And that's I think that might go to his advantage. When nobody expects Rasmussen to win, he wins.
But he's done it before, isn't he? If you remember, he did it previously, and he caught us all off guard. It was quite intriguing, actually, if you remember going back to the French GP. We all thought it was going to be Jarno Opmeer and Danny Moreno again, because remember, going back a season previous, they articulated that race absolutely superbly. But now we've all of a sudden got Rasmussen, who put his head above the parapet, pulled off a strategy that no one thought would ever work, and undercut everybody. It was the most genius race strategy I think we've ever seen, isn't it?
Yeah, it's definitely certainly up there with one of the best strategies that we've seen, and nobody expected him to do that. So we'll have to wait and see. Gonna go off topic for a second. George, can you get yourself in the lobby, please?
Oh, have we got an invite here? Oh, yes, we do.
I sent you a million invites. Come on.
Okay. Oh, my word. Sorry about that, folks. I was turning away. I've got about 5 screens here. So naturally, it's just turned up in the far right-hand corner, so I couldn't see it. But we are here now, folks. So we are in the lobby. We are going to have a race. So keep yourselves on your toes, folks. We're going to be in for a real good one here tonight. Obviously, we're going to be setting ourselves away in a 26-lap race here around the Silverstone circuit here for the British Grand Prix at PSGL. Please leave. I want to see them. Your comments in the live chat. We want to hear from you. Who do you think is going to win tonight's British Grand Prix? We want to hear from you. Land those comments in the live chat, folks. We want to see it. It's going to be special. Jack, are you sticking with Longay? Have you got itchy feet? Do you think it could go elsewhere?
I'm not sure. I think Longay starting P5, and if he's at the back of that train, he might have kind of more advantages with choosing which strategy to go on. So I'm going to stick firm with my prediction. He got P2 in the social, so I think he's going to get up there as well. For dancing, as always, is Nicholas Longay. We're sitting in the lobby, folks. We're getting ready to go. We're looking for the lobby countdown in just a few moments' time. We're going straight into the race, straight away. So we're gonna have no time to think, and maybe the weather could have changed again. I don't know. I'll have to check the software as soon as we get
tornadoes,
on.
I heard, Jack. I think we're
typhoon conditions.
Typhoon, hurricane, anything like that. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. But I'm seeing a lot of people in the live chat here. Let's have a read of some of these tips. We've got Opmeer here. Lots of Pogmeers. We have got some Lucas Blakeleys. We have got some Freddie Rasmussens. We've got loads of people here. Jake Benham in the top 3, says Christian Gadsden. Let's look further down as well. Have we got any others? We got Nyan Lacade. Merck and Red Bull came together at Cops, maybe. We could see it. Could we see another Hamilton and Verstappen moment? Hopefully not. Big hello to Logan Skelton as well. Hello. I hope you're keeping well. Jish as well. George Morgan will win it. I don't think I'm winning tonight, folks, at this moment in time. But nevertheless, we're here. Henry Truter, Jarno Rasmussen Moreno further down as well. Divan Dupreez, Jarno Opmeer, Danny Moreno on top step, says Gurav. Looking further down as well, we've got plenty of others. Lewis Welch says Alpha. We got a little tipster for Lewis Welch. Stachulek says Powell. Svidirsky. Longay says Nova. George and Albon says Guillermo Villa Coloper. Gotta say, guys, keep landing these comments in. Big hello to you, Dynamic, as well. Big hello to everybody in the live chat. Patrick Sipos has got a tip as well. Nicholas Longay, Jarno, Blakely, loads of them. Dan Ticktum has got a tip as well. Amazing. Paris Burrell, brilliant stuff. Yoni Tormela. Could Yoni get his second race win, Jack, this season?
Maybe so, but wow, third time lucky, guys. We're loading in. Come on, let's make this happen. Here at Silverstone, 2 qualifying sessions. Now we've got a race. I don't think we've got a formation lap though.
Jack, you didn't think it could get better than Dan Tickton, but there is a tip for Johnny Evans tonight. So
let's go, Johnny Evans.
Come on, Johnny Evans. Come on, Johnny Evans. Johnny Evans masterclass, says Ian Warren. Big thank you, everybody, for commenting in the live chat. This is absolutely superb. Also, I want to be seeing some support for Jack Kenan as well, my co-commentator. This is his last race tonight, guys. Let's give him a good send-off here tonight. We want to make this a huge stream tonight, a big stream. So with your guys' help, we can make that happen. Very shortly, we will be getting underway for the race. It's going to be absolutely stupendous. Just waiting for the timer to tick down. Jack, I believe we're running with no formation lap again.
Yeah, well, I think so. So we're ticking down, 10 seconds to go. So let's see what happens. If we're going to get a race or not here at Silverstone. Third time lucky. Well, It's Rasmussen, Opmeer, round 15 million. Let's have it.
Yeah, here we go, folks. The timer has literally ticked down. We're waiting. Obviously, like we said, no formation lap, so this is going to get underway straight away as the lights are all being lit. Very shortly, we're going to go pedal to the metal. And it's pedal to the metal. Go, 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 go. And immediately, it is going to be Freddie Rasmussen who gets away well. Jarno Opmeer in behind the scenes as well. Sebastian Job in behind. But look at Lucas Blakely. He's gone ahead of Sebastian Job. Danny Moreno in the background too. Nicholas Longue trying to find a way through as well. Danny Moreno hovering all over the rear of Sebastian Job. How about that for a start there from the machine? Wheel to wheel now. Heading down through the next left-hander out of Aintree. Down the straight here at Wellington. Very shortly, they're going to be heading into Brooklands. Who's bravest? Heading around this bend now. Light tailing from the next left. Still as they make their way around. Danny Moreno losing a little bit of traction, but he's dueling now with Nicholas Longue nevertheless. But the Frenchman is tenacious. He's brilliant. But Danny Moreno's not going away, Jack.
Here we go, up towards Copse Corner, side by side. Moreno's got the run, he's got the inside, he's in front as they come through Copse, but even start between Rasmussen and Opmeer. But Blakely got away superbly well, got in front of Job. There was a collision further down between Paris Birel and Samuel Bean. They've got going again, but it's not the start that they would have wanted through turns 1 and 2. But it's Opmeer with Rasmussen up the front now. Blakely immediately getting on the rear of Jarno Opmeer. Sebastian Job going with them as they all go single file down towards Stowe Corner. Now towards into Stowe Corner they come for the first time. It's the train beginning to form now. Rasmussen got the start, he's got the jump, and now let's see what's going to happen up the order as they come round to begin lap number 2. Rasmussen, Opmeer, Blakely, Job and Moreno as they come across the line to begin lap number 2. Splitting strategy, top 10 on softs, the rest are all on medium tyres as well. That's not what we expected. Nothing less in this race.
Yeah, absolutely. The Great Dane leads the way. Freddie Rasmussen on top billing. Jarno Opmeer, the Flying Dutchman, the duel we all wanted to see, ladies and gentlemen. That's Poitou Stachelek now. Brilliant move. Goes ahead of Wilson Hughes now into the top 10 for Ferrari. And that is exactly what they needed here today. They need the points. Ferrari looking to try and make use of it. Wilson Hughes looks down the inside, but no move could be made. Stays in P11, but what a move from Stachelek. He is up into the top 10, and that is exactly where he needs to be. But the battle in the top 3 is not stopping. Lucas Blakely right on the rear of Jarno Opmeer. Freddie Rasmussen leads though. Great Dane leads. The Flying Dutchman in behind. And Bomber Blakely, he's on a charge as well.
I was wondering when you come up with a nickname for Blakely as they come up to Margaret and Beckett's. Wilson Hughes was trying to get back past Stachelek there. He couldn't find a gap though. Stachelek doing really well here. He's on the medium compound tires. Well, if he can stay in there for another lap, get himself some DRS, he can stay right in there as they come up towards Stowe Corner. Everyone being patient up the front at the moment. Still Rasmussen, Opmeer, Blakely, Job, Moreno, top 5. Hughes has got back past again, but he's gone wide through Stowe Corner. Back again comes Stachelek as they come into the braking zone. Hughes back up the inside again. Contact, round he goes. Hughes is round in the gravel trap at the bottom of Stowe Corner, and he got contact with Stachelek and he rejoins as the VSC is deployed.
Yeah, VSC deployed, but still Freddie Rasmussen leads and he's enjoying it right now. He's currently a second ahead, albeit that they've all slowed down for this VSC lap now as they come around the next right-hander into the next left. You can see there Rasmussen just slowing down exponentially and sort of trying to concertina up the field again, bring them back closer together, and this is where we will find certainly the battles recommencing, of course. It all depends on a very, very good getaway. Prejnader is in the pits. Valentin Bruffaert is out of the race, Jack. So we've lost one McLaren. Not a good day for them. It's all turned sour. Wilson Hughes getting spun and Valentin Bruffaert out of the race.
Yeah, such a shame for Valentin. He didn't have the best start to the Grand Prix, unfortunately, so he's going to have some work to do. But I'm looking up the front. Blakely is nipping the way at Opmeer up the front. He really wants a good restart off the VSC here, and he's keeping Opmeer very honest here as he comes around through Copse. Still VSC deployed at the moment, and here we go, back underway, and Blakely trying to get the jump, but Opmeer's got a great restart off the VSC. Benham in front of Stachelek as they come through. He's had to take to the runoff in the section of Magnussen Beckett's right there, but he does get in front of Stachelek as they come down now. Here comes Blakely, and Opmeer's got the run on Rasmussen. Here they come towards into Stowe. Opmeer up the inside of Rasmussen to try and take the lead of the British Grand Prix. Rasmussen round the outside as they come around Stowe. Blakely's got the inside for the final sector now, sticks his nose in. Upmere on the inside this time. He hangs on, Rasmussen hangs on again, but Blakely's desperate to get through. He gets a bit of oversteer, but no change up the front yet. They try, but Rasmussen hangs on lap number 4.
He certainly does. Jarno Opmeer tried to deep dive heading around Stowe Corner, but Freddie Rasmussen was having none of it. Certainly the Great Dane said absolutely not. And are you barking mad, he said. Jarno Opmeer down in P2 with now Lucas Blakely hunting all over the rear diffuser as they make their way round the next left-hander now. Hightailing down the Wellington straight now, but once again with DRS now opened up. This is where the moves can be crucially made. Blakely getting ever so close to the back of that Mercedes rear wing. Ineos is literally plastered to his front visor right now. Freddie Rasmussen still leading them round though still. The Red Bull leads in behind the Mercedes of Jarno Opmeer, Aston Martin driver Lucas Blakely and Puerto Stachulek. Has there been an issue, Jack Canan?
Yeah, I think he's had an off in Luffield there. He's going slowly on the outside of the track. Not what Stachulek wants. I think there could have been contact with somebody there. But let's see if he gets back underway nonetheless. But back to the front. They are nose to tail through Magnussen Beckett. Onto the back straight they go again. Rasmussen desperate to keep it from Blakely. Has got a great run out of Chapel down towards Stowe. They go. Here comes Opmeer again to take the lead with the DRS. There's nothing Rasmussen can do about this. Opmeer leads the British Grand Prix. Easy move in the end for the Dutchman. And he takes the lead from Rasmussen now. Here comes Blakely on the outside into the final sector. He's going to try go around the outside into the last sector. Going to be contact. Blakely's round. No. He's made contact with Rasmussen into the side pod. He tried too hard, and Rasmussen holds on to the position. Blakely down the order. Contact made, and now he drops to 13th place. Blakely, his luck continues to go the wrong way, but Opmeer leads. Rasmussen second. Job now up to third.
Yeah, not ideal at all for Lucas Blakely. It was also promising. He got away so quick. He got ahead of Sebastian Job. And now Job has retaken that P3 spot. Sensational stuff indeed. It just was literally, it happens all the time. We see it around those bends. Puerto Stachulek is now also retired from the race as well. But look at this up at the top end. Once again, Rasmussen and Opmeer nose to tail yet again. Half a second. They're well within the deficit right now. In behind Sebastian Job. Keeping with them. I'm so impressed with Sebastian Job. Coming from the Carrera Cup, he wasn't sure he was going to certainly get on with a lot of these drivers in PSGL this season, but he very much looks like part of the team, immediately looking good. That AlphaTauri driver, very comfortable here at PSGL at the top level.
Yeah, he's put on a very impressive display at the moment, keeping up with Rasmussen and Opmeer while also having Danny Moreno hunting you down behind as well. Very impressive now. Does Rasmussen try to get past Opmeer here? He's sitting behind, has come up towards Stowe. He's going to be very patient there and sit behind Jarno Opmeer this time. He needs some ERS, does Rasmussen. Doesn't have the battery to try and attack here if he wants to, as they come around to begin another lap number 6 in this race. And it's Opmeer, Rasmussen, Job, Moreno, Longay. And now you've got to keep an eye on these guys are still there. Tormola, Denosa, and the lead runner on the mediums, Jake Benham. He's done a great job. He's still in DRS of the soft runners here, is Jake Benham, in front of Cedric Tome. So the two Hasses are together at the front of the alternate strategy. That could work brilliantly for them later on.
Yeah, it certainly could be. I tell you what, Danny Moreno has been absolutely unrelenting on the rear of Sebastian Job. Just look at this now as we watch them head down the straight yet again. And certainly as we're now seeing it, still Rasmussen trying to gain closer or get closer to the rear of Jarno Opmeer. There you can see the delta gap coming down again for Sebastian Job, who's trying to get closer to Rasmussen too. They're all in tandem. Once again, the Red Bull school are certainly looking very good indeed. Rasmussen in P2, Job in P3. Further down, Joni Tormola still very much in tow as well. Donoso for Alpine is getting right behind Johnny Evans as well. Johnny Evans up in P7 right now as Danny Moreno hunting all over the rear of Sebastian Job as they come through Maggots and Beckett's this time. It all counts now on a very nice exit out of Beckett's, heading into the next lap very shortly as they make their way through Chapel. Incoming now, Danny Moreno as they power their way through down the Hanger Straight. Sebastian Job with an excellent run. Rasmussen down the inside of Opmeer. In comes Job as well, but Rasmussen, he's back him into P1, sorry, Opmeer down to P2. In comes Sebastian Job himself. A late move here from Danny Moreno. Makes his way around the outside as well. The machine is fighting, he's stirring the pot. Is he going to make it happen? P3 he gets. Sensational. And here comes Longay Jackanan.
What a superb send from Moreno into the last sector. Job was wise enough to leave him the room on the inside. Onge is looking, but he can't get through now. Rasmussen's got 2 Mercs behind him now. This is going to get interesting between Opmeer and Moreno. They are together with Danny Moreno, as always, with the brilliant moves at Silverstone. He did a 3 wide round the outside through Stowe last time, of course. Now he comes back with a beautiful round the outside of Sebastian Job into the last sector. But now, what does he do in front? He's got his teammate and Rasmussen, but Job is still very much there. Longa is there, Tormal is there, John Evans is there, Donoso is all there. They're all in the big trade for the lead, but it's still Rasmussen in front of Moreno, in front of Opmeer as well. Through Cops they come again, and they're being very wise with the moves they make, of course. The DRS is very effective around Silverstone. Opmeer getting super close to Rasmussen here. I reckon there's going to be a swap here, but I reckon Moreno maybe try to line him up as well as they come onto the hangar straight again. DRS open for both of the Mercs here. Here comes Moreno. I think there's going to be a swap between the Mercs here, if anything else. Down towards Stowe they go. Here comes Opmeer. He's going to follow his teammate up the inside. Leaves the room. There's going to be contact, and Rasmussen hangs on round the outside of Stowe corner into the braking zone. He defends. He goes back up the inside of Jarno Opmeer into the final sector. Opmeer has the inside. Moreno with the run on the inside. This time runs across the start-finish line. He's going to try and get past Rasmussen up towards the first corner. It's side by side for the lead here at Silverstone. Moreno's got the inside. Rasmussen round the outside. Contact made. Rasmussen off to the runoff area. He gets in front of Moreno. Longgates comes out of nowhere as well, as there's been contact. Job is around. Job in the gravel trap in turn number 1. But now Moreno's done the job. He's gone round the outside. Mercedes 1-2 here at Silverstone.
Well executed by the Mercedes dream here. Jarno Opmeer on top with Danny Moreno in P2 in behind now. Freddie Rasmussen licking his wounds. He will not like that one bit. The machine, Danny Moreno, out of absolutely nowhere. I have to say, he never stops to impress. He is sincerely brilliant. He dances around the circuit like dancing on ice, finds his way around, and the machine, Danny Moreno, lights up the spectators here at PSGL, gains himself a P2 spot, but again he goes a little wide. Donoso with a time penalty. This time Rasmussen can smell blood. He might choose to utilise the DRS. It always seems to be, if you're in P3, you've got an opportunity. As though we're seeing Rasmussen now down the stretch out of Chapel, coming down the hangar straight. Will Moreno go for the lead? He certainly will. Danny Moreno, a bit of P1. Jarno Opmeer lets him through. Mercedes tactics here at Silverstone, Jack Canan.
Absolutely, Rasmussen walked like that into the pit lane in behind. Longa's box, but he's gone too fast into the pit lane behind. He demolishes the pit lane board. He's locked it up and wasted a chance right there. John Evans followed him in, of course, as they came round into the pit lane. But Danny Moreno leads the British Grand Prix. He won here last season. He's going to try repeat it. Rasmussen is not letting go of the Mercs. He won't like that he's been passed by them here as they almost tag teamed them into Stowe. Onto the power now again. Moreno trying to get away, and Opmeer doing bits here to try and keep Rasmussen behind, but now it settles down. Opmeer on the back of his teammate. They're going to swap again. Are they? No, they're going to sit behind. So Opmeer gives Moreno the track position here as they come round. But I tell you what, watch out for the medium runners, George. Jake Benham, Cedric Tomei, they're in DRS of these guys.
Yeah, just incidentally as well, Jack, Lewis Welch up 11 places from where he was before. He started P18. He's now in 7th place. Lewis Welch having a superb drive right now. And certainly the Red Bull is going to look to try and get further as well. He needs to try and join Freddie Rasmussen. The partnership might work out just yet, Jack Canan, as now watching these 3 drivers hightail their way through. The action at the top end has been absolutely sensational. Danny Moreno leads the way as they make their way down the hangar straight. Jarno Opmeer looks to overtake his teammate, and once again team orders again. They're working together in tandem, and this is what we saw all last season. Remember the French GP, Jack? Rasmussen and Opmeer both into the pit.
Ho, ho, ho. Rasmussen locks it up and passes Opmeer on the way to the pit lane. Look at that, on the way into pit lane. How about that from Freddie Rasmussen? That was, I don't know if he meant it, but that was the closest thing to a crash on pit entry. And Rasmussen passes Opmeer on the way to pit lane, and that's thrown a spanner in the works. He gets out in front of Opmeer. And wow, this British Grand Prix continues to throw up. He locked up all the way into the pit lane and somehow avoided Opmeer, but he had the track position as they came into pit lane, and Otmir won't like that one bit as they can merge. Rasmussen in front, and now as they come through, you can have a look. Joni Tormola, Longay, John Evans have all undercut them.
Yeah, they certainly have. And Freddie Rasmussen, wow, what a dynamic move. Heading into the pit lane, he just did what he could to get ahead of Otmir in the pit stop phase. And I bet you he did not see it coming. Wow, away from the Red Bull. Gets himself up in now into P13 and chasing Johnny Evans in P12, who is trying to get close to Joni Tormola. He's around 4/10 slower currently than that man, Joni Tormola. He's dropping down a bit slightly. He's going to be nervous now because the Great Dane is in his rear wing. And certainly he's going to be looking at it now. That Red Bull is going to be stalking the prey. That is the Aston Martin as they now round the next right-hander. This time at Cops, Fabrizio Donoso trying to get closer this time to Danny Moreno as they make their way down towards Maggots and Beckett. How much is Jarno Otmir really seething after that exchange there, Jack?
Yeah, absolutely. He'll be angry, but it was all legal within racing. It's still a part of the racetrack, isn't it? So he still had two wheels on the circuit, so technically he made the move as on the came. It's unorthodox, but he made it work as Moreno now boxes on the way out of the pit lane. He comes right now. His battle is with Longay, Tormola, John Evans, and with Rasmussen and Otmir as they come round. So where does Moreno emerge? It's such a long pit lane here at Silverstone as they come past onto the pit straight now. Longay on his way, and Moreno on the outs of the pit lane now. Longay is going to surge around turn one. Where is Rasmussen? He's in front, and he's going to be behind his teammate as well. So Moreno emerges on the back of this train. So Longay, but he does have a penalty. So right now, net race lead is none other than Joni Tormola.
It certainly is. Joni Tormola leading the charge, and it's worked out brilliantly, certainly for him. There you can see John Evans in behind as well, and look at that, Johnny Evans hunting all over the rear of that man, Joni Tormola, and that's exactly what Johnny Evans needs to do to try and stay alive here, but he's going to be fodder for the cars behind as well. You can see there, Freddie Rasmussen, Jarno Otmir, Danny Moreno. We're back as we were at the start of the race, if you remember. It was Rasmussen leading, as now plenty of them are all boxing yet again. We're once again seeing them make their way through Cops Corner, coming down now towards Maggots and Beckett. Leading this contingent is Nicholas Longay. In behind as well, Joni Tormola. In behind them, John Evans, who's trying to fight his way through. You can see him behind, Freddie Rasmussen, stalking him like a hawk as well, with Jarno Otmir and Danny Moreno in behind. Fastest lap gained by Cedric Tomei, but currently out on track 2 has his lead. In comes Joni Tormola now, this time on Nicholas Longay, round the outside at Stowe Corner. Never a better place to do it. Joni Tormola up into P8 Jackenham.
Brilliant move from Joni Tormola. Good space left by Longay as well. Donoso now coming down the pit lane. That might have helped him a little bit here as they come up towards turn one. Here comes Donoso on his way out of the pit lane. Tormola's on his way out too as they come out now. Where's Donoso going to come out? He's going to come out side by side with Evans. Let's see if Evans can hold on here around the outside. Contact!
Oh, no.
Donoso's round. Contact made again. And Donoso ends up facing the wrong way in turn number 2, but he gets back going again. Thankfully, almost contact between the Mercs, by the way. Moreno tried to get past his teammate, but Otmir just keeping him behind for now. But it's still Tormola, Longay, Evans, Rasmussen, Otmir, Moreno at the head. But right now, out the front, it's a Haas 1-2. Jake Benham and Cedric Tomei out in the lead right now. And the fast lap last time, by the way, it was set by Cedric Tomei.
Yeah, you can hear the wheels banging and clanging there between Moreno and Otmir. It got very close between the pair, exiting out of the entry bend onto the Wellington straight. Further up as well, John Evans. How is he doing it? He's still maintaining a position, which is exactly what he needs to do, but he has got Frederick Rasmussen right on his rear, and I think his number could be up here as they're now riding their way down the straight this time. Nicholas Longay also smells blood as they make their way down towards the straight. This time, no move made, but in behind you can see Evans all over the rear of Nicholas Longay, but look at Rasmussen just being patient. Still they don't opt to pit. Looking down the inside once again is John Evans. Brilliant to see this racing. Even the newcomers really enjoying themselves out there, bringing the show. That's what we like at PSGL. If you're not leaving a like and subscribe for this one tonight, folks, I don't know what you will leave it for.
It's brilliant, isn't it? Just fantastic racing with John Evans. He's up there. He's got Rasmussen now looking, but no way through. He covers it off nicely into turn one. And now you can see Longay trying to get away with Tormola as well as they come around onto the Wellington straight now. Rasmussen had an opportunity there, but decided up against it. Evans defended it nicely. Down towards the corner they come again. Otmir trying to get past Rasmussen here in towards Brooklands. He looks, but there's no way through just yet for him here. Into the next left field they come. In behind, Jarno Otmir trying to find a gap here, but there isn't the gap. It's still Tormala who still leads this contingent of cars, and he's doing a fantastic job. Once again, the Finn is controlling things out the front, half distance in this race, as now swap between Wilson Hughes and PSGL, as they're of course out of sync with the rest of the races now. But here we go, onto the hanger straight. Longe has DRS, Evans has DRS, everybody else has DRS. He's going to get eaten alive here, Joni Tormala. Here comes Longe with the DRS. John Evans behind him here up towards Stowe they go. Here comes Longe. Evans sitting behind and watching and waiting. Longe swaps. Nothing he could do about that when Nicholas Longe goes back to the front of that lead train.
He certainly does. John Evans had a little nose as well again. He's so relentless. He is so good. Trying his best, even at his tender age here in PSGL. Loses the front end slightly, but recovers it well. Heading around the final bend. Down towards turn 1 yet again. Freddie Rasmussen locked in behind the youngster as Lucas Blakely sets another fastest lap in behind as well. He's chasing down Fabrizio Donoso, the Chilean, driving for Alpine, currently in 13th spot. Danny Moreno. I get the feeling Moreno is getting a little bit frustrated out there right now. He's currently in behind his teammate Jarno Otmir, but nevertheless the Mercs want to get going. They don't want to stick around. They want to bust a move. They got Freddie Rasmussen ahead of them here. This is all for the lead of the race at the moment here, folks, as Joni Tormala once again getting in behind here of Nicholas Longe as they come around the next right-hander. Still leading this contingent, Nicholas Longe, but in behind Joni Tormala. Big question is though, Jack, when are the top 6 going to box?
Yeah, it's the big question, because Benham and Tomei, Sipos, Welch, they're all out front at the moment. In comes Benham right on cue at the half distance. Jake Benham takes the pit stop. He noticed, I suppose, that the gap is starting to decrease back to these guys. Let's see where the Haas of Jake Benham will come out. Remember, he's going to be on brand new soft tyres for this next phase of the race, so let's see what he's able to do. Tomei stays out, Sipos stays out, Welch stays out as they go back. Here comes Tormala. He gets back past Longe. Longe's not letting him have it too easy this time around the outside, but Tormala makes it stick now as Evans side by side with Rasmussen. Here comes Freddie around the outside of John Evans. Into the next sector they go, onto the power. Evans trying to hang on, but Rasmussen has the inside for the last corner. Evans is not letting him have it. The youngster's going wheel to wheel with Rasmussen. Here he comes round the outside of turn 1. It's absolutely side by side. Evans is still there on the outside into turn 1. He's hung on just about here into the next sector. Rasmussen has the outside, but he'll get hung out to dry. Brilliant defence by John Evans once again, George.
It certainly is. John Evans with some stern defence against this man, Frederick Rasmussen. They're doing everything they can to keep hold of position. Rasmussen, though, the Great Dane is far from done as he makes his way around the next left. Johnny Evans still trying, fighting, trying to hold on to that P6. Superb from Johnny Evans. Holds on again, heading around that bend before they make their way onto the next straight on the Old Paddock Straight. Out of Woodcombe, that was brilliant. Around Cops yet again. That Aston Martin is loving it out there, Jack and Ann.
George, look at Benham. He's on the back of them on the fresh softs. Let's watch out. Fighting his way through, but John Evans, absolutely textbook defence right there. He says to them, I may be a fill-in, but you're not having this one easy. Down towards Cops they come, Stowe corner, and once they come again. But Jake Benham is on the fresh soft tyres, and he is in the mix for this one on the back of Danny Moreno. As they come around, you see Cedric Tomei and Lewis Welch have also boxed for fresh, soft, compound tyres. It's still Tormala at the front of this field, but where does Tomei and Welch emerge? They're going to come out right at the back of this one again, but this is going to turn into a mental last 10 laps here. Tomei on his way out. He's going to emerge with these guys. Cedric Tomei's going to side by side with the Mercedes of the both of them here. Tomei to the back of Rasmussen. Has he broken his wing? No, he hasn't. He's hung on for now. Round the outside of Jarno Otmir. Here comes Cedric Tomei. He's in with a chance of the win here. He's done it.
Yeah, Jake Benham as well has gone ahead of Danny Moreno. The Hasses are coming to play. Here we go. It's Jarno Otmir at the mercy mercy now of Jake Bennett, but Cedric Tomei, the Haas master plan is coming into fruition. Tomei now hunting all over Freddie Rasmussen. This is what we wanted to see, folks. Drama, a great British Grand Prix. This has been absolutely brilliant. It's been better than great. It's been sensational. Run the next right-hander now, coming through Cops. Jarno Opmeer, the Flying Dutchman, can see in his mirrors the all-star Jake Benham. Once again, the young pretender to the throne. He said he could be a future champion. He could well be. He needs to take down a champion. If you want to be the best, you've got to beat the best. Jake Benham looking to do just that. Heading down now the straight to Hanger. Heading down now into the next stone corner. Wheel to wheel up ahead as well. Rasmussen in behind the Freitas going on in front. Joni Tormela trying to hold on to his position, but Longue moves up into P2. What an exchange, Jack Canan.
Yeah, and now Dark Horse Patrick Sipos is into the pit lane, on his way down the pit lane right now. Sipos might actually do this. Sipos on the way out of the pit lane. Longue is through turn one. Sipos is going to emerge in front of and side by side. He's done the whole lot to them. Patrick Sipos has overcut the lot of them and come out in front of Rasmussen on fresh soft tyres. The man who qualified on pole here last time in the socials. Benham has got past Jarno Opmeer side by side down towards the Wellington Straight into Brooklands. He's got the fresh tyres. He's got the grip. Can he do it round the outside of the world champion? Yes, he can. Benham does the job. But look at this now. Sipos is on the back of the lot of them up for the lead in this one.
He certainly is, and certainly Patrick Sipos, he loves it here around Silverstone, and Cedric Tomei goes out of Freddie Rasmussen as well. The Hasses are here. The new generation are here. Coming now out of Cobb's Corner, down through Maggots and Beckett's now. Sailing behind Cedric Tomei. What a visit so far. His teammate Jake Benham entering the fray as well. Jarno Opmeer downgraded in the classification, not enjoying himself out there. They were held up so much. Movement being made further up. Patrick Sipos down the inside there of Joni Tormela. Brilliant from Sipos. He's partying once again around the British GP circuit.
Oh, into the back of Tomei, contacting the Hasses. They made contact the road as well. In the background, Rasmussen ends up in the gravel. He gets back going again. Benham tried to get past Tomei. There was a miscommunication as now the Mercs are trying to sort themselves out as well. A little bit of miscommunication there between the Hasses into the last sector. Benham tried to go up the inside. He couldn't find the space to do it as they come through, but Rasmussen demoted now. But all of a sudden, George, where the hell has Lucas Blakely come from? He's back in it now.
He certainly is. He's right on the rear of Freddie Rasmussen, and that is exactly what he would want. He's going to have DRS now. Lucas Blakely, the Blakely bomb down the inside of the Great Dane. Oh, superb there from Lucas Blakely. Welcome back to the front, my friend. He is now in the top 10. A grandiose recovery from the Aston Martin, and that's exactly what he would have needed. Cedric Tomei all over the rear of John Evans there. What a sterling drive from John Evans. Whatever happens here today, you've got to give him credit. But look at Cedric Tomei now on reasonably fresh soft tyres, heading up now into the next chicane of Maggots and Beckett. It's a blowout here for the end of the race. We've still got another massive, what looks to be 8 laps left in this British Grand Prix, Jack. I can't believe this.
There goes Sipos. Rasmussen is out of the race. A DNF from the Grand Prix. Freddie Rasmussen ends what was a great race, and he's now unfortunately going to be out of the Grand Prix. But Patrick Sipos into the lead as Tomei and Evans go side by side, but once again Evans says absolutely not. I'm hanging on to this one for now. He's into P4, but Patrick Sipos leads the Grand Prix on brand new soft tyres. Longue behind. Job's now out of the Grand Prix as well. What a shame for those two who were going so well, as now the Hasses are side by side. Benham versus Cedric Tomei. They can't afford to get caught up with each other here on the way through the next sector. Tomei versus Benham, side by side they go. Benham has gone in front of Tomei there, and now it's all up to Jake Benham trying to chase down the top runners here. But it's Sipos, Longue, Tormela, Evans, Benham, and now we wait to see what the others are able to do. But this is now superb. Longue has the penalty, of course, so technically Jot Evans is hanging on right now for a try to get himself a podium.
Reaction in the live chat, folks. I want to see some PSGL chants going on in the live chat. This is absolutely sensational race of the season. It has to be, as now we're looking at Cedric Tomei coming into Magnussen Beckett's P6. His teammate, certainly Jake Benham, usurping that man who's been in esports for so many years. The youngsters have turned up. They have brought the pressure. They have brought the pain. They're thriving as Jake Benham heads down the straight now, heading into the next right at Senior at Stowe. And look at them, nose to tail, all within half a second of each other. This is just what we like to see here at PSGL.
This is brilliant. With just a few laps to go now, lap 20 of 26. Surely now Sipos has this, as long as he doesn't make any mistakes. He needs it. It's the problem now for Jake Benham and the like. They haven't got a lot of ERS, and they've got to get past John Evans and Joni Tormola and Nicholas Longe. Now here comes Benham on John Evans into turn one. He leaves him room. These two know each other very well. Coming through the first corner, they come again side by side. Benham around the outside. Evans leaves him room as they come through. Brilliant racing between the both of these guys, but Evans is hanging on for dear life. Now the DRS opens for Jake Benham. There's nothing John Evans can do about this when he's trying to defend against Cedric Tomei as well. Into Brooklands they go. Almost contact from as they come through. Evans defends against Tomei. Through Luffield they go again. And now Benham is released to get after Joni Tormola.
Absolutely, look at that. Jake Benham, sensational, brilliant. Cedric Tomei looks to follow him through though, taking the outside line around Stowe corner. And certainly he does so. Losing the rear end just slightly as he rushes over the curbs. He's going into Magnussen Beckett's. He can't go in front though. They need to go in tandem because of course you can't go wheel to wheel in this section of the circuit. It'll obviously just end up in Spinala as they head around Chapel now. You can see certainly Cedric Tomei. He's fed up of waiting. He's fed up of listening. Bearing down to Benham. It's not an option as Johnny Evans defends heading around the next right. Look at Omir though. The Flying Dutchman around the outside. Wheel to wheel this time with Cedric Tomei. These esports juggernauts. Sensational battling, but Omir has him on the rails, Jack.
Yeah, but now look at Tomei's got the run out side by side towards turn one. Where did that come from Jarno Watmere? Around the outside of Stowe corner, and he's gone up to P6. Now Moreno's trying to follow him through. Here comes Moreno on the inside of Cedric Tomei. Tomei defends the inside for the next corner. Lucas Blakely's in this one too. Tomei hangs on just about there as they enter the next sector, but Lucas Blakely from backwards on lap number 3 has returned to fight for a potential podium as Moreno, he goes for the outside of Brooklands, but there's not enough space to do it. Tomei defends once again, but Opmir has come out of nowhere to spring a surprise and get on with this one as Benham closes in on Tormola and Longe up in front.
Absolutely, we just can't get over all these battles that are happening on this circuit. This race has been absolutely chock-a-block with them. Brilliant to see, brilliant to watch, a pleasure to watch, that's for sure. It's absolutely brilliant. I hope you guys at home are all enjoying it as well. There is Cedric Tomei. It's Danny Moreno who's been usurped by him yet again, but still the machine powers on. There you can see them down the hanger straight this time. Jarno Opmir looking now upon Johnny Evans. Only one result here, says the Dutchman. Down the outside around Stowe corner. The Mercedes looking for the long way round. He's going to do it, says the Dutchman. Into the next left. Brilliant from Jarno Opmir. Now up into P5, and that's what you pay your money for. Jarno Opmir up into P5. Still a long way to go in the context of this race. 4 laps left, Jack Canan. What are we going to see? I think we might have lost Jack Canan here. We're just watching now as we're seeing Jarno Opmir heading around the next right. Jake Benham now making his way around too. Jarno Opmir holding firm in P5. Johnny Evans still maintaining his pace. Jake Benham in P4. Joni Tormola still in amongst it too. Danny Moreno trying to find his way through as well. It's getting so close. Heading down into the next left. Amazing stuff indeed. Jack Canan, are you back with us?
Absolutely. Sorry, I accidentally muted my mic there as I had to cough. There's too much action going on right here. And coming around this next part, what I was saying is I think the softs might just be starting to go off a little bit now. The mediums might be coming back to these guys a little bit. It's going to equal out now with these last few laps, but it's still Patrick Sipos in the lead of this race. Nicholas Longe, his teammate at Alpine in the F1 Esports Series, is right behind him. Joni Tormola is still in there in P3. Jake Benham hanging there in P4, but he can't seem to get any closer than he is able to now. Jarno Opmir back up to P5. John Evans hanging on to P6. Moreno, Blakely, Donoso and Tomei down in P10 now, as now the softs begin to degrade with these last few laps now. Lap 23, 4 laps left of this Grand Prix. Can Sipos hang on for a debut win?
He certainly could do, Jack. He's 0.6 of a second clear of Longuet. Remember, Longuet's got a 5-second time penalty, so that is not going to help. Certainly at the end of this race, the way things are set right now, Jonny Tormela could yet follow up a great win that he had in the Netherlands with another podium finish. Could get P2 at the end of this race. Patrick Sipos, we've lost Ruben Pedreño as well, and that's a 5th DNF we have had in this race, but we're just watching. We're enthralled by this top-end battle that's going on in the top 10. Just looking at everyone from P1 all the way down into P10, all of them within a DRS train. Anyone can win this. One penalty is all it takes, folks. Please stay with us. 3 laps left, Jack. 3 laps of magic. I don't want it to stop.
No, neither do I, as they come up towards Cops again. It's still Sipos. I wondered, are the tyres hanging on for Patrick Sipos? Longa is getting a little bit closer, and Jonny Tormela is now beginning to attack in P3. The Flying Finn, who took a win in Zandvoort, can he do it again here in Silverstone? He's got the older tyres compared to everyone else, but we know he's very good at looking after those tyres in this one. Jake Benham, 0.7 of a second back, not able to get any closer. Upmere in there behind us now. Moreno gets the squeeze put on it by John Evans. Into Stowe they go, and Blakely follows him through, tries to, on his Aston Martin teammate. In towards the last corner they go. It's happened again. Caught there between the teammates, but Blakely holds on this time. Evans tries to hang on. He does. Donoso's going to go 3 wide. It's like last year. Big contact in the final corner. That was never going to work, boys. In the last corner again, but Evans hangs on as Donoso gets up the inside of Blakely through the first corner. Donoso makes the move once again, but that last sector seems to be where it's all coming undone for Blakely. I don't know how they came out of that without a crash.
No, it got so close. A great recovery from Lucas Blakely to hold the car around that final corner. It got so scare him through that bit as well. Jonny Tormela getting so close too. He's now beginning to close on Nicolas Longuet. We could yet see a fight for the lead of this Grand Prix. If we look further up, still Patrick Sipos in front, leading the charge. A massive 13 places gained for that man, and he's on the soft tyres. Could Tormela bring the pain last minute? Can he land a blow upon Patrick Sipos in the Alpine? But I'm sure, without question, Longuet is going to help Sipos out here, Jack Canan.
He certainly is. He's got the penalty, so Longuet just needs to do what he can to keep him behind. But of course, if these guys start battling, then that's when it's going to come undone as Evans gets a penalty. Unfortunately, it's going to drop him down the order a little bit, but Jonny Tormela is on the attack as they come up towards Stowe again. They go. Tormela's getting closer, but I wonder will Longuet try to get past here as they go on to the last 2 laps here. 2 more laps to go in Silverstone as Donoso versus Evans. Into the last sector they go, absolutely side by side. Evans leaves him room. Donoso keeps him side by side up towards turn number 1. Donoso has the run, he has the space, he makes it work. He's up to P7 is Fabrizio Donoso, and you can see Moreno's kind of fallen off a little bit here in behind. He's not keeping up with the train behind, or up ahead of him, sorry, as they come on to the second to last lap. Sipos still has the gap that he needs to try and secure himself this win. Jonny Tormela is looking menacing up behind, as is Jake Benham, but now the softs have gone off and Jarno Watmere is on the attack on Jake Benham.
He certainly is. He's getting closer and closer. Just to say, folks, please leave your vote for driver of the day. We have got a poll running in the live chat. Please make sure you post your votes. We're going to be obviously announcing who it is towards the end, but incredible stuff as we're now watching Jarno Watmere now heading around Copse Corner very shortly down through Maggots and Beckett's. He's locked in behind the rear of Jake Benham, and these two, the youngster, the master versus the apprentice. Jarno Watmere touted him to be a future F1 esports star. He certainly could be, but the reigning champ Jarno Watmere is far from done yet. He wants to win another title. He wants to win a second PSGL title this season, and he's not going to let brilliant Jake Benham do it. In comes Donoso as well, this time on Moreno. Donoso up in a P6. A great move around Stowe, Jack Canan.
Absolutely, we can't forget though, Longuet could get that penalty removed, so this is going to go on to the last. But Silverstone, white flag waves here. Silverstone, who is going to win in these last few laps? This could go anybody's way. Ladies and gentlemen, Sipos leads, Longuet second, Tormela in third, Benham and Otmir all in with a shout here of this Grand Prix win. Sipos just needs to hang on for a lap and a bit to try and take a debut win. Nicholas Longe in behind him in P2. Joni Tormala in P3. I think this is going to be very, very calm until they get to the last straight, the Hanger straight. Moreno back again at Donoso up the inside. He's trying to hang on here. He must have some kind of problem, does Danny Moreno, but this has been an absolutely brilliant race at PSGL. It is worth the wait, I think, that you all had to go through at home. So many lobby restarts, but nonetheless, it's going to come to a brilliant finish here as they come on through Magnussen Beckett for the last time. Otmir right behind Jake Benham here. Of course, this is his title rival, don't forget, as they come now onto the Hanger straight for the final time. Who takes the win here? Longe on the back of Sipos as they come up towards Stowe corner again. He's got the run, he's got the speed, but he doesn't have enough of a run as they come up into the braking zone once again. He might just do this, the young Hungarian. He's surprised us once again. He's taken pole in the socials. He's come from nowhere. The youngster, the young guard is here. Patrick Sipos wins the British Grand Prix. Brilliant drive. Joni Tormala is second, and Jake Benham holds off Jarno Otmir to take a P3 finish with Danny Moreno in fifth. Tome, Longe, Blakely, Donoso and John Evans valiantly hangs on to take a single championship point. Patrick Sipos, a new star is born.
Certainly is. His first win this season given to him here at Britain. Remember, he was heartbroken in pre-season after landing pole position at this very same circuit. Could not do it on the day. But Patrick Sipos, Alpine's new superstar, has driven the Williams here at Silverstone to a P1 result. And that will certainly boost his confidence to a brilliant F1 Esports Pro Championship season that is beckoning with only weeks and months away. It's absolutely brilliant to see the young guard turn up. A new generation born tonight here at PSGL, Jack Kinnan.
What a race. Brilliant. That's what we needed after all that problems we had in the lobbies. Patrick Sipos, he made the overcut work beautifully. Very mature drive. And once again, Joni Tormala, what can you say about him? Another solid result, P2. And Jake Benham, he's outscored Jarno, so he's closed the gap in the championship in this one. But what a well-deserved win for Patrick Sipos. Absolutely nobody tipped him to win. He started 14th and he's taken the win. Joni Tormala started 7th. He finishes 2nd. And Jake Benham, who starts in 13th place, finishes in 3rd. So how about that for a finish? Jarno Otmir, P4. Danny Moreno, P5. Cedric Tome with his best result in P6. Nicholas Longe, P7. Lucas Blakely recovers to P8. Donoso, P9. And John Evans, brilliant drive. I think he was one of the stars of today. He finishes with a single championship point in P10. Wilson Hughes, Paris Burrell, Philip Preschneider, Lewis Welch, Samuel Bean, Ruben Pedreño, Sebastian Joe, Freddie Rasmussen, Peter Stakelek, and Valentin Bruffaert. Those three did not finish the Grand Prix. I mean, what can you say? That was worth the wait, and I knew something brilliant was going to happen tonight.
Folks, you've all been blown away here tonight. I have as well. I have to say, my mouth was open right through the final lap. I can confirm that Patrick Sipos is your driver of the day. 64% of the vote, the majority. Jake Benham, 18%. Joni Tormala, 10%. Johnny Evans, what a drive, gets 5%. 1,500 votes were made in tonight's poll. Sensational. Thank you all so much. Ladies and gentlemen, how about that tonight? Certainly a grandiose race. Patrick Sipos, he totally blew it out of the water. The strategy was so key tonight, Jack.
It absolutely was. It all came back to the guys who started on the medium run. I said earlier to watch out for them, because if they stayed within the DRS, they were going to have a big advantage, and it came back to them later on. Sipos, he stayed out so long to avoid getting caught up in that big train that was happening, and he managed to get himself out in front of the Mercs on the fresh soft tires, and he got away. And what was lucky for him, I suppose, was that he had Longe behind him. Of course, his teammate. Longe had the penalty. He knew he didn't attack. He didn't go after him. He tried his best to keep Joni Tormala behind. He knew he had the penalty, so he didn't fight him too hard in that race. But tell you what, that was a brilliant, brilliant drive.
Just want to say, Jack, just on the prior to that, we're 250 subscribers away from 10k, ladies and gentlemen. 10k here on the PSGL YouTube channel. Everybody who hasn't subscribed, hit that subscribe button now, folks, and lend your support to PSGL for more great racing week in, week out here on YouTube. Trust me, you will not regret it. You'll get some of the best, certainly continuing to wow our spectators here, certainly us as commentators as well. It was absolutely superb to watch the action out on track, and a brilliant Silverstone circuit as well. Sensational to watch, a pleasure to watch, and that is exactly what we needed after last week as well. We can forget about last week. Tonight is what it was all about. Despite the early lobby issues, we fought back, folks, and we have given league racing something special to look at. I mean, just to summarise, Jack, it was probably the best result we could have wished for.
I think so, yeah. It's been another week of upsets, which is what we wanted. We always want a little upset every week in PSGL, and Patrick Sipos coming out on top in that one was everything we could have asked for with the All-Star strategies. And it also means we have now got a championship, because Benham has, of course, he finished in front of Otmir and he's now closed the gap. The gap is now 15 points back from Otmir, who still leads the championship, but 15 points. So he's not a race distance clear anymore. But with that second place, Joni Tormala is only just a point behind him in that one. 16 points back, Joni Tormala. Joni Tormala's in the title race now.
He certainly is, and that is brilliant to see. We've got so many drivers in with a fight of this PSGL Championship. It's only just hotting up, folks. Plenty of races to go. There's going to be plenty of drama left, certainly in this season, and make sure you stay tuned to it as well. And I'm pleased to say as well, we have got Big C, Connor, the league owner, in the live chat. Connor, welcome to the commentary box, my friend.
Yeah, hello. Hope you can hear me okay. But yeah, what a race. I mean, after all those issues, to get something like that, it's just amazing, isn't it?
It's what we needed, I think, especially after the initial period where it looked like the race was on the brink, but we finally turned up the heat. Incredible stuff indeed, and brilliant racing. And how about youngster Patrick Sipos? The youngsters seem to have come through in that race tonight, Connor. They looked all really, really good. Johnny Evans was sensational. We had the likes of Patrick Sipos, obviously won the race. Jake Benham was up there too. They were all up there having a scrap.
Yeah, I mean, that's why we love league racing. You know, we see John Evans up there fighting with Freddie Rasmussen. Like, if you told me that like 6 months ago, you'd have just been laughed at. John Evans fighting, you know, esports, the top of esports, like those sorts of drivers. So yeah, it's pretty amazing. And yeah, just thanks to everyone for sticking with it, because, you know, there were issues and we got through it in the end. So yeah, a great race. And obviously, you know, we'll talk about Jack in a bit, but yeah, a great advert for league racing once again.
Certainly is. Certainly a great advert for league racing, that is for sure. And we've got plenty to look forward to for the rest of the season, folks. But obviously, as Connor, good segue as well, Connor, obviously heading into our next topic of discussion, we have had certainly a tremendous season, and it's a pleasure to commentate these races week in and week out, but it's never the same without having a truly amazing broadcast partner alongside you to bring you all the action as well. And Jack, it's a sad day to get a great day after having a great race, but unfortunately now we've got to talk about something else which is not as great. We're going to be saying goodbye to Jack Canan. Jack, I have to say, mate, it's been a pleasure working with you all this time, and we have got a pre-prepared graphic for this, so folks, you're going to get a piece of this action now. There he is. Farewell to Jack Canan. Jack, talk us through it. How's the season been? How have you enjoyed your experience here at PSGL?
No one told me about that. Thank you, guys. Oh, that's really nice. I mean, what can I say? I mean, I honestly, I didn't know what to expect coming into this. I mean, the PSGL PC was brand new at the time, and we'd obviously just come from jumping from league to league, and we didn't know what to expect jumping in here. We started off at this stream from the ground up, less than 100 viewers, and I can't remember what subscriber we were on, but it's gone up stupidly since then. But this journey has been something else, and I can't thank you all enough. The whole team, Connor for bringing me in for the first place, and all the other admin team as well, and George as well. I know we get on very well. Fantastic to be alongside you every week, and I mean, I don't know what to say. That's really nice of you guys. Thank you.
No, honestly, Jack, you know, Thursdays are never going to be the same again, my friend. I'm truly gutted that you're going. I feel we've been the dynamic duo now for a good over a year and a half, and it's It's been a pleasure every week. I look forward to Thursday nights every week without fail. And I have to say, I'm not joking when I say that I am honestly gutted that you're going, but I understand the reasoning. And obviously, because education very important. Of course, I was a student once, so yeah, I know how it feels. But honestly, it means the world to have worked alongside you for such a long period of time. You're a cracking commentator, and I know it's not the last time we're going to work together. We're going to work together, I'm sure, a lot more than this. But obviously, this PSGL dream that we have had over the last year, well, certainly in this year, that's for sure, since joining in January, working from a huge 700 subscribers, working all the way up to a huge, massive, near enough 10k, 10,000 subs. We've witnessed the journey, Jack, all the way from January up to this point in time. And if I was ever going to do a journey like this with anybody, I'm glad it was with you, my friend.
Yeah, I mean, I can say the same for you, honestly. This has been probably one of the greatest honors I've had, seriously, to do this. With the caliber of driver we've had, the blood, sweat, and tears that's gone into every single broadcast, and I mean, I wouldn't be, I'd be a bit, I suppose, selfish if I didn't thank all the viewers who make it all possible or make it all worthwhile in the end, because without you guys, we wouldn't have had this huge boom in the league racing, and the support that we get every single week is absolutely second to none. And we're not deserving of it, honestly. The amount of nice messages we get from everyone, but as I said, to all the admin team, we put in so many hours into this. To see all the effort pay off for them, especially, is particularly special. To all the commentators, on all the tiers, you're all brilliant in your own way, and you bring an amazing professionalism to every single broadcast. And I should mention about our own broadcast here at PCF1, at the amount of blood, sweat, and tears that George puts in every single week to make sure that stream is running properly. All the graphics, transitions, point, everything, it all has to be done. And to Connor as well. He brought me in at the start. I know he didn't want to. I know he hates me, really. But yeah, I mean, get it all out there now. But yeah, no, Connor, especially to you, thank you so much for bringing me in. It's been one of the honors of my life to do this, and I'm just so happy to see it all working out for all of you. So just thank you.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, on behalf of PSGL, it's been a great experience. You don't really expect a league like PSGL to go through the growth experience it's gone through, but like I said, I think you and George, the chemistry, the harmony you have together as a commentary team, I think it is unrivaled, and nothing like we've seen in like league racing history before. I've been around the block for the last 10 years, and honestly, it genuinely is the best commentary pairing. So obviously, best of luck moving forward, and the door will always be open in the future should PSGL continue to rise, and hopefully Dan Hawkins and that, keep an eye on yourself and George for bigger opportunities in the future. But obviously the show goes on, and George, we've got an exciting person coming in to replace Jack.
Again, Connor, beautiful segue. I have to say, we're gonna unveil this man as well now. Folks, this is the guy that's going to be replacing Jack. Obviously, well, not replace Jack. I'm not using that term. He's coming in place of Jack. He's not a Jack Cannan clone, ladies and gentlemen. Right? There's only one Jack Cannan, but we have got another one. We have got Dan Field this time. We've got a Dan Field, right? It's different. Dan, welcome to the commentary box. I'm looking forward to working with you, my friend. Have you got any comments yourself, obviously, to give to young Jack? And what are your thoughts on coming in to the top tier of PSGL?
Honestly, you use the word replacement. I think that might have been the furthest of what is correct, because there is no replacing Jack. Honestly, every Thursday, love tuning in to F1 and being able to hear both of you in the commentary box. It's going to be a little bit different following next week, considering I won't be. I'll be on the other side of it. I'm getting a little bit nervous already with the stuttering, but that will be cleared up next week, of course. But yeah, Jack, of course, best of luck in everything that you do, because your commentary, one of my favourites for probably the past year in PSGL. I'd say both of you two together, just absolutely perfect. I'm trying to think of something that goes really well together, but just not off the top of my not off the top of my tongue. I think it's just you're both unique in your own ways.
Well, you know, fair, you can't say fairer than that. Any response, Jack? I'm literally, I feel like Jerry Springer right now, even though this isn't a dysfunctional family or anything, but, you know.
No, furthest thing from it. But yeah, obviously, yeah, you've all heard it now. Dan is going to be getting into my seat that I've kept nice and warm in the co-commentary box. And obviously, me and Dan have worked together before. So I know what he's capable of. He filled in at Zandvoort last minute, did everything properly. So he's done. He's absolutely perfect to hop in. He's done F2 for a long time. It absolutely deserves a chance at the big time. I've heard it all. So Dan, the best of luck, and obviously you're absolutely perfect for the job. Just make sure to keep George in check. All right.
I'll do my best on that one. I'll do my best.
He can try. I can tell you what. He'll do his best, I'm sure. But yeah, folks, absolutely sensational. And Jack, you've been an absolute, a truly great partner. And obviously, the future still looks bright. Of course, we will. Of course, I'm sure be seeing Jack again in the future, without a doubt. Obviously, looking after his studies for the time being, as one must should. And we, of course, wish you the very best of luck as well with that as well, Jack. Just to say, what are you studying? In fact.
Oh, well, that's actually, I never said anything about that. Yeah, so I'm studying media studies and German by degree. So I'm heading into my last year. So it's basically flat out to the end with that one. So here's hoping next year I'll have a degree in my hand, but I have to put the full effort into that. So if I could carry on doing PSGL, of course I would, but I mean, I do have to put the effort. I have to put in full effort into this now. So as much as it pains me to do this, I have to do it.
Well, nevertheless, it's surely a worthy cause, and I'm sure you will smash it. So very best of luck, my friend, as well. So as of next week, folks, you're going to be joined by me and, of course, Dan Field as well. So, Dan, looking ahead now, the championship is very, very hot. We've just witnessed a classic race here tonight. Were you tuned in? What were your thoughts?
That was probably one of the best races I think I've watched, at least in PSGL F1. Of course, there's been in other leagues, there's been some great races, but honestly, this is one of my favourites. One of my favourite races that I've ever watched. There's some great battles, and I was really impressed by one man in particular. We were talking about him last night, of course, John Evans. He was fighting he held Freddie Rasmussen back for about maybe over a lap, half a lap or something. It was incredible how good he was.
Oh, he was absolutely sensational. We saw so many of them, though. It was a huge fight towards the end, and that's exactly what the British GP is all about, folks. Next on our list, we're going to Austria. Yes, we are, folks. We're going to Austria. We're looking forward to it, that's for sure. You'll join me and Dan Field for this one. But as always, it's been a pleasure. Make sure you land that, hit that subscribe button and leave a like as well. You can also check out the Twitter tags as well. You can follow PSGL. That's at Premier Sim GL. Make sure you find them on Twitter and check them out too. You can also check me out as well. George Morgan. I am at George Morgan TV. You can find me there on Twitter as well. You can send me a tweet, send me a message, whatever you like as well. And of course, Jack, share your Twitter handle as well if you please.
Absolutely, yeah. It's at JackCCombs if you want to keep up with anything that I'm doing in the future. Yeah, absolutely. And also, seeing as you're here, Dan, how about your Twitter tag as well, my friend?
Oh, if you insist, of course. It's Danfield F1_. All in lowercase there.
Well, also another man hiding out as well. Big C, share your Twitter tag, my friend.
Yeah, Big C_019. So yeah, make sure you follow.
There you go, folks. It's been a pleasure, folks. Patrick Sipos, the young pretender to the throne, joins certainly the echelons of the best in esports to take a victory this season in PSGL, but we'll go to Australia. It's Spielberg next, folks, with me and Dan Field. We'll see you next time. Goodbye.